TFA fam. What better way to kick off 2022 than with a TFA fam, a little start sit, a little free-for-all for all of you who are rocking with us who don't know what the free-for-all is. We are about to just drop the link for the show in the Discord and in the YouTube chat. If you want to join us and be on the actual show, just click the link, pop in. We don't really have a set agenda, no set topics. Our only rule is no peepers. We don't want to see any P's, any D's. That's the only rule. Kev, how was your New Year, buddy? How you doing? What's going on? How are you?
It was good. It was good. I watched Cobra Kai season 4 dropped on New Year's Eve, and I watched the entire thing. And there's only like 35-minute episodes, and there's 10 episodes, so it's not really that long of a binge. But I watched that whole thing. So excellent show. It's like a weird, like, because it shouldn't be as good as it is, really, and but it's an excellent show.
Yeah, did you make it to New Year's? What about
I
Firefox?
did. My
Firefox kid.
Old Firefox kid had a friend spend the night, and they stayed up, and we watched the ball drop, and then I said, "Get your ass upstairs." Okay, you got enough.
Did they like run around, make like banging pots or anything?
No. Aria, my what is she, like 15, 16 months old? Was in there, so was asleep. So I was like, if you wake her up, my foot is gonna go straight up your ass. So
it's gonna be hell to pay.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we got some questions. Looks like we got some guests as well. We just want to start packing them in.
What's up, boys?
Walito. Ron, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Can't complain. Yourself?
Doing well. Decked out in the Birds gear, huh?
Yeah, baby. I dress up just to sit at home by myself.
Hell yeah.
I got like 1,000 jersey and hats. I got to wear them sometime. I like to wear whatever the team is wearing on TV, so I feel like I'm part of it.
Hey, there you go.
Like a coach on the sidelines.
In case they need me.
How was that?
Well, if you were a Denver fan, they might actually need you this weekend.
Poor Denver.
Yeah, they have. Denver's been hit by that twice this year. Or, I guess, back-to-back years, rather. So let's kick this off with Ashton here. We are in a 2 tight end league, which personally, if you're going to do a tight end premium, this is the way that you make tight ends more valuable instead of just giving them extra PPR points, and you make the tight ends that are already valuable more valuable. But anyway, I digress. We need to sit one of these here. Knox, Fant, Higbee. I'm sitting Higbee.
I'm sitting Fant. This offense is terrible. I don't care that he's going to be the only one out there. I really don't. This passing offense is atrocious. It's been bad. There hasn't been one of these players that has done anything. This passing offense, I have no trust in it whatsoever. The Ravens are a complete pass funnel, and Dawson Knox is in a great spot as well against Atlanta. So I'm not playing.
He's the only wide receiver there. Sutton, if he plays.
No, I don't want to mess with Sutton.
I just don't think you can. This offense has just been atrocious. I mean, honestly, and I'm not expecting it to all of a sudden get better against a team that has been really good against the pass and the Chargers. I think the Chargers just absolutely annihilate the the Broncos tomorrow.
It's probably what we thought about Houston as well.
What are you thinking about Javonte? I mean, they have to run.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I mean, he scored 20 against them the last time they played, but it's just. I don't know. I mean, obviously the Chargers have been terrible against the run, but I mean, if he's going to get there, it's got to be through the air because I just don't think they're going to be able to do a whole lot.
Have we seen the Chargers stack the box at all this year?
No, not really. I mean, but the Chargers continue to be really bad against the run, but I just don't know if the game script's going to be in the favor for them to be able to do that. And not to mention the fact that all of the pieces that the Broncos are missing on defense. I mean, Bradley Chubb's going to be out, Bryce Callahan. I mean, they're missing a lot of their defense. So that was kind of their saving grace. They were able to kind of stay in games and be able to keep the game close, be able to run the ball. They're not going to be able to do that because, I mean, this defense is shredded, as well.
That's true. The running is based on the D, really.
Yeah.
Well, Lito, break the tie here, buddy. Who are you sitting? I'm sitting Higbee. Kevin's sitting Fant.
I said Higbee.
Ron also said Higbee. Who do you got?
It's close.
It is close. For sure. But we all agree Knox is playing? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Noah Fant. I mean, I can't with Drew Lock playing quarterback. And I get it that he's going to be the only guy out there. I know Cortland Sutton, apparently he's going to play, but I get that he's going to get targets and all of that. But does that matter when they might score like 7 points? Only a touchdown the entire game? I'll take Tyler Higbee on the Rams that could maybe score 50 because we know how terrible this Raven secondary is. So.
I'm just afraid they're using OBJ as the red zone now, and Higbee just won't get a touchdown. You got to rely on like receptions, and that's rough.
I get that, but I mean, I just cannot trust the Broncos to even get in the red zone. Yeah, that's how bad their offense is.
I mean, even with OBJ, he's still seeing, week 16, he saw 6 targets. Before that, he saw 6 targets. I mean, he's seen a pretty consistent. Still ran 31 routes, played 91% of the snaps. I mean, and even 5 for 41.
And even then, I would not be surprised if Albert O scores 2 touchdowns and then Noah Fant scores none. So, I don't know.
You're only saying nice things about Alberto because Kevin's on the stream. If Kevin wasn't here,
I mean, you're going to get 4 guaranteed targets with Fant, and that's about it. That's all you're guaranteed.
I mean, they're just going to run the ball because the Broncos, they're just going to run the ball all game long. So,
would you trust Gordon? Because I wouldn't.
Melvin, no. I mean, it's tough to trust any of those 2 guys because when these 2 guys are playing, they both basically have no ceiling.
Yeah.
I get that, Javonte Williams is the better running back. He is more explosive. He is more talented. He is a better pass catcher, but they still give the football to Melvin Gordon, which I don't get because Melvin Gordon is fucking trash, but
he's had a pretty year. At least he's down to 40% instead of 50%.
I mean, he's all right, but I really hope he's out of Denver next year.
He wants to go back. I don't know why. Seems like the worst place he could possibly be.
Oh, and I don't think the Broncos are going to bring him back. I mean, he's going to be 29 next season. So over the summer he turns 29 years old. I don't know why you'd even want to bring him back.
Yeah. Sure, I can get him on the cheap though.
Yeah, he would have to be really. Can you imagine? He should have just took the Charger deal when he held out. That cost him a lot of money.
Yeah, but even if I don't think they bring him back because the vet minimum is like $2 or $3 million. I mean, so are you really going to pay him that much? When you have Javonte, I just don't think there's any reason for it.
Isn't the cap like going to explode next year? Because
It's going up. It's like going to be $208 million next year. The next few years is really going to go up. I think
the
after like
Broncos,
2 or 3 years from now, it's probably be like at 250. Like it's going up big time.
I mean, the Broncos do have a lot of money this offseason, so it's going to be interesting.
Well,
to
they
see
need a
what
quarterback.
Yeah,
That all could be
yeah.
made up if they trade for Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers.
they're going to spend it on a free agent quarterback.
I mean,
It's crazy how
maybe-
bad that offense is, considering all the players that they have. Like, there's a lot of offenses this offseason that like are going to be like great spots for one of these quarterbacks to go to.
maybe
Because you have
Russell
the
Wilson.
Denver offense that's stacked outside of a quarterback. You have Pittsburgh, who's at a great spot outside of a quarterback. With Claypool and Deontay and Najee.
They need to
line.
improve the line. Pittsburgh needs to improve the line.
Oh, for sure, but they have a ton of money. So I mean,
know-
they're another team that has a ton of cap, and so they can go out and address that through free agency.
The Saints, we have Marquez Callaway.
Get the hell out of here, the Saints.
Deontay Harris.
God. All right, let's hit Lupe's question here, and then get back to some of the shenanigans. We need 2 wide receivers and a flex for Lupe: Lockett, Higgins, Boyd, Kirk, Osborne, or Pringle. So let's start there, and then we'll go to the running backs.
First 3.
I would do Lockett, Higgins, Williams. But
Yeah, first 3 wide receivers.
I don't want to play Higgins and Boyd together.
Oh yeah, true.
Lockett, Higgins, and
It's Lockett and Higgins,
Lockett,
and then
Higgins.
the 2 running backs are Darrell and Penny.
Oh, 2 running backs, 2.
I would play Lockett and Higgins, and then I would play all 3 running backs.
I don't think he's
same.
right.
I would not play Elijah Mitchell.
Kirk is not bad instead of Mitchell though.
Why wouldn't you not play Elijah Mitchell?
Because I honestly don't know how much he's going to play. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to. I don't think he is going to be. I don't think he's going to get the same workload that we were seeing hit before. I mean, he's been limited limited practices all week. There's a beat reporter talking about that he could be limited. Wouldn't surprise me. You have Jeff Wilson. I mean, you don't need to run him out there this game and give him 80% of the opportunities.
I think
a good matchup against Houston.
I mean,
And not to mention, you have Trey Lance, who's going to be starting. And Trey Lance, I mean, the last time, he has a game this year where he has 16 carries. I mean, he could take away a lot of the upside for Elijah Mitchell anyway.
And he can take short touchdowns away, too.
So I would go Christian Kirk.
Yeah, if Elijah Mitchell's going to be limited, then I'm probably going to go with Christian Kirk. So Lockett, Higgins, and Kirk.
Because even if Kirk gets Diggs jumps 20 routes a game, and lets you get behind him. He's great at the flash stuff, but he gives up a ton of yards, man. Like a ton.
I think he's first in the league in yards allowed.
It's horrible. He jumps every. It's Asante Samuel, the reborn.
Or like Marcus Peters is the same way. He's a ball hawk, and he's just out there trying to get receptions, and he gets burnt a lot.
Tam, Happy New Year to you as well. Justin wants to know Justin Jefferson or AB. This one's going to be AB for me.
Really?
I mean, if he plays.
Yeah, if he plays.
You're gonna start AB over Jefferson?
Jefferson has the backup quarterback now.
I'm starting Tom Brady over Kellen Mond is what that is.
I think you can still start Jefferson.
Worse, I think. Sean Mannion.
I mean, he's probably gonna get 25 targets.
Jefferson or AB?
Jefferson.
Yeah.
I mean, who else do they have to throw?
He's gonna check down the cook every 3 seconds. I mean, I'm fine with playing Jefferson, but if AB plays,
worst matchup for Jefferson as well.
But it's very tough because AB is banged up.
Yeah,
but we still don't know if he's even gonna play.
Will he finish the game if he does play too?
And if he does play, if he does play, is he gonna play full complement of snaps?
I think he will, though. I think if he plays, he's full. Who else are they gonna run out there? They're not gonna run Evans out there. They might use Evans in the red zone, but they're not gonna have him run routes.
Is Evans playing?
Well,
he was activated, got him in limited practice on Friday with the hammy. But
how could he play anything but red zone? You can't run. He'll pull his hamstring before the playoffs. Like, they're going to put him there as a body. If he plays. I mean,
it is tough because I was trying to figure. Sean Mannion has a few career starts under his belt. 2019, he started against the Bears, and he went 12 for 21, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 126 passing yards. And he also lost a fumble. So 3 turnovers.
Yeah, fuck it. Antonio Brown.
And then he started another game. What was that? Back in his LA Rams days. What did he do there? Where's that start? Oh,
I mean,
he went 20 for 34 for 169 yards. And he 2 turnovers in that game. He lost another fumble in that game. And he was sacked 3 times. Yeah. So he's never thrown for more than 200 yards in a game that he started.
And he has 0 touchdowns?
Yes. He has not thrown a touchdown yet in his career.
Well, that hurts. That hurts, Jefferson, right? That hurts.
So, like 0 touchdowns and 6 turnovers in 2 games?
In his career, he has 45 for 74 for 384 yards, 3 picks, and 3 fumbles.
That's like a, what,
No
60
touchdowns.
QB rating? About 60 or something?
They don't list his QBR, but his QBR in 2019 was 26.4.
Oh!
And in 2017, it was 16.4. So, and the messed up part is, like, why would you not start Kellen Mond to figure out kind of what you have in the guy? But Mike Zimmer says he prefers, Sean Mannion to Kellen Mond. And I'm like, what are you doing, Mike Zimmer? Like, Mike Zimmer needs to be fired.
Yeah, I mean,
start the rookie to see what you got.
Right? Why not? Right?
You're not going to the playoffs.
He can't be much worse, than just because he's a rookie. He'll be like Tua was his first year. I mean, Tannehill.
I think it could possibly be similar to Davis Mills with the Texans.
Davis Mills is starting to play, man.
Were there a lot of people over the offseason that were saying he could be the next Dak? Were there a lot of people saying that?
Good Mond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still people saying Dak's going to be the next Dak. He was like a 4th round. Like, everyone was like, Carson Wentz is so much better than him. Now no one really says that.
Talking about Carson Wentz, he was activated today. He's gonna.
Or they took Goff over both of them. How's that looking?
Not great.
Not great, Bob. Mr. Wong, Mitchell, Jacobs, or Edmonds, full PPR in the flex. Happy New Year to you as well.
When I read that, I thought he was like trying to like shorten honey. I was like,
that was my first. That was my first thought as well.
It's gonna be Chase Edmonds.
I'm like, oh, he's being sweet.
I think it's Edmonds if James Conner were to be out, but I don't. James Conner is a game time decision in that game.
Doesn't look like he's gonna play.
If James Conner doesn't play, Chase Edmonds is the top 12 running back.
If he plays, it's just going to like destroy both of them, though.
But even if James Conner does play, I believe we have to believe that he's going to be limited, and Chase Edmonds still going to be the lead back in that game.
But the thing is, I don't know because they'll
probably use Edmonds as the passing down back, and him as the 1-2.
I mean, I still think if Conner plays, I still think that Chase Edmonds is going to see most of the carries.
But if Conner plays, Chase Edmonds isn't going to get a touchdown.
It's possible. It's possible that Conner steals all the goal line carries. But
has he got a touchdown yet this season, Edmonds?
Edmonds, yeah, he scored.
It's only like 1 then.
Probably has 1 or 2. Yeah.
Like it's like really low.
He's got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he scored 1 in the last game he played against the.
Where was Conner out when he scored it?
Yes, last week.
Yeah, it was last week on Christmas.
Where he scored 1. He scored another one earlier in the year. Week 8 against Green Bay. But, so for me, it's Chase Edmonds if Edmonds plays, or if Connor's out. If Connor plays, then I'm going Jess Jacobs.
Yeah.
Jacobs will get the touches.
And he's been getting the pass catching work.
But this Raiders offense is so terrible. It's so bad. And they're going up against Colts, who have been they've been a good defense.
Especially against the run, really.
Yeah, that'd be Edmonds, Mitchell, and then Jacobs for me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
If
I just think
comes out.
even if Mitchell doesn't get his full 18 carries, he's just in such a good spot that I really don't think it matters all that much. And I think they could be running the ball more often, even if Trey Lance is taking carries away as well. I think we could see him potentially fairly limited again, especially in that matchup. So that's where I would be going. Everett coming through with the super chat. Appreciate that, Everett. We need 2 here out of Cook, Kamara, Monty, and Rojo.
Cook and Kamara.
I would go Cook Monty, but
I can't sit Alvin Kamara.
I think I could this week with Taysom Hill and Monty.
This is a game.
I'm already sitting Rojo. You can't sit Monty too.
But this is a game for the Saints that is a must-win game. If they want to make the playoffs, they absolutely need to win this week. And if they want to win this week, that's going to have to go through Alvin Kamara. And they're going to have to give touches to Alvin Kamara. And this is a great matchup against Carolina. Carolina, they're not great against the run. And Alvin Kamara, if he gets 20 touches, 25 touches, which I think he might get this week, I can't sit Alvin Kamara in this situation, in this week.
I think he's going to be around 18, but he can. Yeah. That's Kamara with 18 touches can still do something. I'm just thinking Monty has like a 20-point game coming,
and
this is standard as well.
Oh, with it being standard, it's Cook and Monty.
Yeah, with standard, you have to go Monty.
I'm still gonna go Kamara.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Cook and Rojo.
Really? Monty.
In standard. Monty would be 3rd for me. Kamara would be 4th.
Rojo and Monty are super close. But if Monty fumbles, they're not gonna bench him.
Can we put one of them in the flex? Can we flex one of them? No. Because then I would start Cook, Kamara, and Monty.
Definitely not Mike Williams or MVS. And I worry that they rest Gronk. Like he's involved in the first half, and then they're like, we'll just throw Braid out there.
Yeah, but the second question is probably for the flex, right? Since that's Mike Williams.
You know what's going to happen is the Jets are going to keep this game close. The Jets are going to get a lead, and because everybody's expecting the Jets just to get absolutely destroyed. And watch, this is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a much closer game than people think.
People keep thinking the Jets in Houston are going to get destroyed, and they don't.
Well, the Jets have plenty of times this year. There for a while, they were averaging giving up 45.
It's completely random games. They'll just randomly show up and then.
But on the other side, I think that would it be in the standard league? I think I would go Gronk.
Yeah, I'm going Gronk on the second one as well.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go Gronk as well. But if we can play one of those running backs instead, because
no flex. He already said there's not a flex.
Okay.
There's no flex in the league?
That's what he said, no flex.
Yeah.
But he can play a tight end in the wide receiver spot? Is that what?
I don't know. They might have some different setups here.
Yeah, it's hard to trust Mike Williams off COVID.
Old Giraldi.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, brother?
Fuck, man, I'm shocked that I'm awake right now. I never stay up till midnight, and last night, dude, it killed me.
Till midnight? Where are you at?
Atlanta, or just outside Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 10:47. So
right.
This is like the latest I've stayed up on non-NFL games.
I was like, how am I not the early? Like, how am I not the latest if I'm on the East Coast? But yeah, okay.
2 Eagles fans in one show. What are we doing here?
Hey man, tomorrow. This is the biggest game that they've had in quite some time.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
if Tommy was here,
they have
they'd be free.
their own destiny. If they win out, they get in.
Yeah, it's kind
They
of
got to
crazy
beat
to see.
Dallas though.
Hey,
I mean,
we need a Cowboys fan in here.
Philly,
The Saints had better not win. That's all. I do not want to see the Saints in the playoffs. Nobody wants to see the Saints in the playoffs. That is some boring ass football.
Stop it!
Nobody
Stop
wants to see
it!
that.
Stop!
I mean,
Stop that!
they aren't the same without Breeze.
Stop that!
I mean, partially it's their wide receiver core, but I mean, come on, man.
so wide receivers, so tight ends.
Kamara can't do everything.
If the Saints make the playoffs, they're gonna win in the
Yeah,
wild
like-
card round. I'm calling it. They're gonna win in the
What'd you
wild
just
card
say?
round. If the Saints make the playoffs, they're gonna win in the wild card round.
Let's
I
move
think
on before we start losing viewers.
Huh.
I'm putting my nuts on the table, and I'm telling you that the Saints are gonna go to the divisional round.
You're better off dragging them through hot sand, brother.
Nuts.
All right. So my opponent has Jared Cook in his lineup. I already picked up all the good tight ends off waivers. Only half decent player left on the waivers is Jonnu. Would you rather play against Jonnu or Njoku?
Is Brevin
John.
Jordan on waivers?
I think I'd rather play. I mean, if I had to choose, I'd probably rather play against Jonnu.
Yeah, because I feel like Njoku at least has the ability to go, 4 for $120, and you know what I mean. Like I feel like that like spike game is more on Njoku's side than it is Jonnu's at this point.
Is Cook out? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah, he's on COVID.
Is he on like COVID where he can't come back, or COVID where like
He would
everyone?
have to have already been. He would. Already, they would. I think they since he's on the reserve, he would already had to been activated. I'm pretty sure. They have until 4:00 on Saturday to activate people that are on. Say it's kind of the same situation with Carson Wentz. They activated him, but he's not yet cleared by a doctor. A doctor has to clear him for him to be able to return.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want them to play Jonnu, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would want to play against Jonnu. He has no upside whatsoever.
Yeah. TX, what's up, boys? Couple of questions: Taysom, Lance, or Huntley, and which defense? Colts or Philly?
That's actually closer than people want to admit. Colts have a pretty good matchup.
So
I think-
like these three quarterbacks are very.
I'd probably go Philly, but
Yeah.
Colts have a good matchup.
I'm gonna go Colts defense.
Yeah, it's close. It's really close.
I'm going Philly.
I'll go.
Yeah, I
Philly.
mean,
It's
Eagles
fun.
defense too. They get the Washington team. They're missing some interior linemen this weekend too, right? So I mean that defensive line should get a little bit of pressure on them. And I mean,
And
with
Eagles
no-
actually have a good special teams, which not all, everyone does. Like there's defense and special teams. The Eagles actually have a good special team.
yeah, no Antonio Gibson too. I mean, like they're not going to be able to establish any kind of run game with Patterson or Wendell Smallwood and whoever else they have going it back there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I still like
Patterson?
I still like Smallwood from the Eagles days.
So
So what about the quarterbacks?
Yeah.
What
It's
about
Schultz.
them?
It's gonna be
I think
hard,
it's between-
right?
I think it's between Lance and Huntley. I really like, and I really like Huntley. He has played really well in all the games that he's played in so far this year, and his rushing upside is just as high as any of these guys. And I mean, Lance certainly has the rushing upside as well, but he had looked absolutely dreadful as a passer whenever he played earlier in the year. Now, I mean, that's been some time. He has some time to sit back and learn a little bit more and get some reps in and stuff like that. But I think it's Huntley for me as who I would go with. We've seen his ceiling. I mean, he has a 30-point game already in him.
I would also go Tyler Huntley.
So I think it's Huntley.
I think
love
I'd have to go Hill, but
I think I have like 4 lineups.
they're all the same.
I think I have 4 lineups with Huntley in DFS this week.
They're like the same quarterback. They're all like they're gonna run more than they throw. They're not that great at throwing. Like
I mean, all 3 of these quarterbacks could run for 100 yards.
Yes.
I've just seen Taysom get top 10 more times. But I think it's like 6 of one, half dozen of another. I mean, like they're all the same.
yeah. In a situation like this too, I mean, I would probably go Huntley just also because this is a closer game. You know, I mean, like the Niners are what 12.5-point favorites, and I mean, like that's one where they can control the clock, run the ball. I mean, like I would rather have the upside of a shootout, close game, and Huntley could definitely produce, you know, in a situation like that.
And Huntley,
Much better weapons, with Mark Andrews and Marcus Brown and the ghost of Sammy Watkins and
it's hard to trust Lance off of no information too. I mean,
and Huntley's.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, he has great weapons as well. It's just we've seen this before with him, and he hasn't really flashed. I mean, whole lot. He has all of them have a safe floor because of the rushing upside, and none of them really stand out. So to me, I'm just going to go with the matchup, and I think it's Tyler Huntley for me.
And they keep using Debo as a running back. That can't help the quarterback.
Yeah.
To have your best receiver as your running back.
Yeah, but Huntley is also the quarterback who's most likely going to throw the football the most out of these three as well.
Yeah,
and that Saints game. That Saints game also has a game
was it
total
like a 36,
37.5.
Yeah. So I will say, I made a lineup today with Sam Darnold in it. I did make a lineup with Sam Darnold.
Stop it.
Because I hate myself. But
I
did create a Sam Darnold lineup.
They're going to use Cam on the running touchdowns though.
I don't
Sam Darnold, really?
But I did create a Sam Darnold super contrarian lineup that allowed me to play though.
Yeah, right. It's cheap, right?
I got in Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp in that lineup, so
did you?
Pretty good about it.
I mean, if you play Darnold,
to counteract the negative points from Darnold.
Did you play DJ Moore in that lineup?
I did.
I love DJ Moore this week. I think he's gonna.
Hey, we forget though Sam Darnold earlier in the year. I mean, he had the four straight games. I mean, he dropped a couple 30 DK points. But either way, we're not talking about Sam Darnold. So Herbie or Hurts, Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I'd be good, Herbert. Yeah. I think so.
I don't think Hurts is going to have to do a whole lot.
I think you know what you're getting more from Herbert than Hurts. Hurts could be like, is he going to throw or is he going to run? Like, you have no idea what it's going to happen. I'm afraid they're going to go.
I will say Jalen Hurts has been like the most consistent quarterback we've seen this year. I mean, he is almost a lock for QB1, where Herbert can be very much be a little bit more Jekyll and Hyde.
I mean, it's not a great matchup against Denver, but
and really could see Hurts run a little bit more without Miles Sanders on the field or possibly Jordan Howard.
I think he will.
Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell.
I think Hurts run more to avoid overworking the running backs.
So I think I would go.
But it's the Eagles. They could just throw the whole time because they're like that.
They're not all that. I mean, the Washington football team. The Washington football team is terrible against the pass, so they would be playing right into that. So that wouldn't mind that either.
I'm not playing Terry. Anyone playing Terry? I ain't playing Terry.
I have one lineup with him, but
I can't.
I mean, just as that kind of get some exposure in case the Eagles lay a dud, because they've historically known to sometimes come up short in games like this. But all in all, I'm avoiding all.
Eagles lose the games they're supposed to win and win the games they're supposed to lose throughout history of the Eagles.
And I also made a Russell Wilson lineup, and I fucking hate myself.
See, I trust Russell Wilson more than them, but
it's just silly. He's 6,200 going up against Detroit, and just because I made a lineup with him, he's gonna have 8 fantasy points.
I mean, they're gonna run against Detroit.
He's gonna throw 12 times, 0 touchdown.
He'll throw 25 times, but he has to have that super Russell Wilson accuracy to make that okay.
It's very cool.
All right, we gotta get caught up on some of these questions.
Noel, Michelle or Zeke?
Michelle.
Zeke, right?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going Michelle.
I can't.
You have been outvoted. TX.
I think Zeke still gets
more or Sun God?
The Sun God.
DJ Moore.
No Jared Goff, right?
I think DJ Moore smashes this week.
I take more.
What Jalen Waddle did to the Saints last week, I think DJ Moore could do the same thing.
I think St. Brown is that disappointment this year in the championship game that everyone's not expecting. because Swift is back, and then you got the backup quarterback, and then like.
But that's
Well, the backup quarterback doesn't matter. They had the backup quarterback last week, and he's still off.
True.
So the
But here's
backup
the thing,
quarterback doesn't matter. I mean, let's be honest. There's not a
but the
huge
thing with
difference between Jared
Amon-Ra-
Goff and him.
There's no one else to throw it to. I get it.
It's Amon-Ra St. Brown for me. I'm not sitting Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But the thing with Amon-Ra St. Brown is that, like, he only started getting that many targets when DeAndre Swift got
right. Yeah.
Now DeAndre Swift is back. I don't think he's going to see as many targets with Swift in the lineup.
How many targets do you realistically think that Swift takes away from him?
Also, Josh Reynolds is out, so they're going to be missing him.
Reynolds
TJ
is out.
Hawkinson's
No
still out.
Hawkinson.
I think he gets 8 to 9 targets instead of 12. So I think he loses 3 to 4.
I think DeAndre Swift could potentially out-target Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I don't know. I'm going Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm going to go DJ Moore in this one.
It's
That was Amon-Ra for me as well.
I don't mind St. Brown.
Do you trust Justin Jefferson tomorrow with this cold weather? The cold weather doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't trust the quarterback.
Yes.
You're right. I trust him
Yeah.
immensely, not the quarterback.
Most likely, you don't really have a better option than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get some. My fear is he gets a bunch of 7-yarders, and it doesn't add up to enough, But no touchdowns and a bunch of 7-yarders. But he's
Appreciate
gonna
you rocking with us, Aiden. Losing by 4.
That sucks.
Swift kicking the D.
Shelton, tied in for championship. Kyle Pitts, Patty Fry, or Foster Moreau. This is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, stick with him.
I am surprised Patty Fry's already on his way back, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Pitts. Is there any disagreement?
No, it's gonna be Kyle Pitts. I just can't see myself playing Foster Moreau over Kyle Pitts.
Got a
Brian
16-teamer from Brian PPR. We need to sit one. McLaurin MVS, Jared Patterson, Burkhead.
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 Can we sit Patterson and Burkhead?
I'm not playing. Burkhead is the definition of chasing points. That's chasing points.
I mean, I don't hate Patterson this week, to be honest.
I hate Burkhead this week.
I'm sitting Patterson.
Over Burkhead?
Of course. I mean, the Phillies' run defense has been elite.
Don't do this, guy.
I wasn't excited about playing Antonio Gibson, let alone now having to play Jarrett Patterson.
Patterson as well.
I mean, this is just an awful matchup for the run defense. And sure, he could get some pass catching work as well, but
Philly?
I mean, I'll play Burkhead. I mean, San Francisco's defense does not scare me at all. I mean, and Houston has, again, kept themselves in every single game. And so, I mean, we could keep talking about it and laugh that it's Houston and, oh, my God, we want to play against Houston. But Houston has done a really good job of keeping themselves in games, making games close. And so, Burkhead last week, 22 carries. And the week before that, 16 carries. 11 carries the week before that. So he's clearly the lead back here. So I'm not worried about that. He can be involved as a pass catcher. And, San Francisco's defense is not one that you should be overly worried about, where I don't know what to expect from the Washington football team. I mean, old 5'6", 195-pound Jarrett Patterson. I'm not putting I don't still think that upside is really all that there. And like I've said, we've talked about, this Philly run defense, and is one that, I mean, they have been one of the best, if not the best run defense over the last month of the season. And so I'm not running out a Washington football team backup running back against this defense.
I mean, that's fair, but the other side is Burkhead.
Yeah, who just scored 28.9. I get it.
How about this? Is David Johnson back?
I have no idea, but that doesn't really bother me one bit.
Yeah, David Johnson is.
Not just a little. I mean, because he'll just take touches. I mean, not because he's great. Obviously,
I mean,
he was like running back 19 last year. Everyone hates David Johnson, but like it hasn't been that long since he produced.
Yeah, he's still on the COVID list, Johnson. So he'll
okay, fine. You can put Burkhead. They're the same. So is Dare. They're all the same.
And I really don't feel good about starting Terry McLaurin either.
I'm not.
You don't have another option though.
Yeah, but out of that group,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Emilio,
I'm not sitting
start a
with
wide
Corey.
receiver 2. Deontay, Higgins, AB, Renfro. I'm stuck between Higgins and Deontay.
I have Deontay a little over Higgins.
Is that the question that was in the Discord?
Maybe.
I don't know, but it's AB.
It is. It is the Discord question.
It's T Higgins for me.
It's AB.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I confused. Not start 2 wide receivers, start a wide receiver 2. Yeah, I would go Deontay.
You
This is-
cannot
this is
sit
one-
Antonio Brown. You cannot sit Antonio Brown.
Yes, you can.
No, this is
Can
one
you-
to me too.
Yes,
Where
you can. He's
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Deontay in Big Ben's last game home, I mean, he's going to want to throw. That's his favorite target.
I think this was the one in the Discord, right? Like
It was the one. Yes.
So I think I mentioned to this person in there too. Like, this is a situation where if it's close, and especially the past few weeks, I'm going a player that's playing earlier, just because. Like, what if there's a possibility that Deontay Johnson ends up on the COVID list, say on like late Sunday afternoon or something like that, and you get a situation where how are you going to replace someone going on a Monday night? You're not going to put Ray McLeod in there.
Right. You get like Gesicki at best, right?
Yeah, and so like if it's a toss-up all season long, I've pretty much been going with like, give me the guy that is for sure playing. And in a situation like this too, like you're not going to go wrong with starting a guy like Higgins or AB.
It's been really hard to bench Thursday players because of that this year.
Yep, especially the past couple weeks.
he's
I'm
like-
going AB here.
Here's the thing with AB. I mean, AB's banged up.
I gotta go Deontay, man.
Big Ben narrative too. Last home game.
Yeah, I think he gets at least 12 targets, honestly.
I mean, I think AB wins it, right?
If AB was 100% health, I would say I got you. But
I mean, Kevin Cody said AB. You said Deontay. I'm saying T Higgins.
I'm between Higgins and AB. I mean, like flip a coin. Those two guys are a little bit ahead though of the rest of them.
he's not even considering AB or Renfro. He's saying he's stuck between Higgins and Deontay.
I mean, is it out of the range of possible? Because we saw it last week, right? That AB had 15 targets, and Gronk, I believe, had like 2 catches and on 3 targets. I mean, is it possible that Gronk gets 15 targets this week and then AB gets what, 5?
I think if AB plays, he's going to be a monster. But
Yeah, I'm sure we're thinking it. AB, even whenever Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronk, all of them played, was still producing wide receiver 1 numbers on his own with everybody playing. And now you're missing all of these guys. It's really, really hard for him to fail. You should trust the wide receiver that's paired to Tom Brady, not the one that's paired to Big Ben. And so I love Deontay, but if I have to choose between one of these guys, it is Antonio Brown every day of the week.
I think Deontay, Higgins, and AB are very close. They're all clumped in.
I don't think Higgins is all that close. I do not like this matchup for
me
the
either.
Bengals against the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense over the last 2 months has been one of the best defenses in the league, and they have shut down opposing wide receivers.
They take out the outside. Boyd might have a good game because they don't do good against the slot. But yeah,
it's AB for me if he plays. If he does not play, it is Deontay. He'd be my second one.
I like that.
Need a wide receiver at a flex. Half PPR. Darrell Williams, A.J. Dillon, Jamal Williams, Pittman, Mike Williams, Van Jefferson, or Gallup.
Pittman.
Every single Williams.
It's Darrell Williams and Michael Pittman for me.
I would go Pittman over Mike Williams.
Yeah, I like Williams and Pittman. Both of them.
Yeah.
I am scared of Mike Williams. Scared.
I'm gonna go.
Straight up scared.
It's Michael Pittman and Darrell Williams.
All right. Well,
Same for
that
me.
one wins out. See, Pittman or Osborne at flex? It's Pittman.
Pittman.
Yeah, I can't play Osborne with whoever's playing quarterback.
10-team PPR, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, or Taysom Hill.
I play Murray.
Yeah, give me a shootout.
Kyler.
Yeah.
Graham, PPR, Mike Williams, or Darnell Mooney.
Okay, here you go, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
You got me. I'll play Mike Williams there.
Mike Williams.
This is Darnell Mooney for me.
I would take a lot.
Yep. Mike Williams.
I don't trust Mooney.
I don't know about Dar. I don't know. But Mooney
Is A-Rob out? He does better when A-Rob's out.
They have not
A-Rob
said.
is back.
I don't. It doesn't matter at this point.
They haven't said
It's-
one way or the other if he's actually going to play or not. But
Uh,
I have been monitoring that news for DraftKings purposes. But
because he's $3,800.
$3,800.
With Andy Dalton playing quarterback.
Giraldi, who do you like there? Williams or Mooney?
I like Williams in this. I don't trust Dalton.
Yeah.
AJB or Waddle for Dave M?
AJ
Both.
Brown.
How are you sitting one of those? Seriously.
I'm going AJ Brown. I want to play both of them. Can we get both of them in there, Dave?
Yeah.
Who are you
Let us know.
sitting?
Can we get both in there?
But it's AJ Brown.
Because I do not want to sit Jalen Waddle in the matchup.
I want to play both of them. I can't imagine you have good enough people to not play both.
But this is very interesting because Jalen Waddle is also like 5 receptions away from the rookie record, so he's gonna want to hit that this week.
He has another game to do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Secret.
I don't really think
Hunter
that plays
Henry
into anything.
or Patty Fry. This is Patty Fry for me.
Patty Fry for me as well.
Foster Moreau.
If I hear Myers is out, Hunter Henry, but just because he's going to get targets if they don't have Myers to throw to, but if not, man.
Go Foster Moreau.
Tyler Huntley or Trey Lance. I think we all already had this. So it's Tyler Huntley for me.
Yep.
I'm not playing Trey Lance cold like that.
Justin Debo or AB. I'm going AB.
I'm finally
maybe
gonna
as well.
Finally gonna do it. Antonio Brown.
Nathan, pick 3 PPR: Tyreek, Deontay, T. Higgins, Antonio Brown. I'm sitting T. Higgins.
I'm sitting Deontay.
Sitting Higgins.
I'm sitting Higgins.
I'm sitting Deontay, so we're at a draw a little bit on there, but the other two, I mean, those two are starting.
We're outvoted.
Justin, David Montgomery or Antonio Brown.
I go Monty.
This is David Montgomery.
Well,
I'm
is
going
it
Montgomery on
standard?
this one.
Is it standard or PP? Yeah.
It's going to be Montgomery for me as well.
I mean, even if it's
Regardless.
PPR, I'm like,
regardless of what it is, it's gonna be Montgomery.
And then Gronk or Kittle.
Kittle,
I'm going
right?
Gronk.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
go.
go Gronk.
I'm gonna go
Really?
Gronk because I don't think.
What if they rest him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gronk.
This is money
Who's that?
that going into an investment or going back.
Okay.
What up?
Hey,
Ashton, what's up, man?
it's good. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you jumping on. It's good to put some faces to
Yeah, I've
all
been
the
having
Abbeys
connection
and
errors.
What's your screen? Or whatever we call it.
that is Ashton.
What's right?
Yeah, it is good to put faces.
By the way, the people that are in the chat, just so you guys know, maybe we should drop it in there again because we were kind of
It's
low
pinned.
at the time.
Yeah,
It's
fine.
pinned.
Finally,
The pinned comment at the top. If you want to join the show, all you have to do is click the link. You can jump on the show, ask questions, answer questions. We can chat. You can do whatever you want. But this is what we call the fantasy free-for-all, where we just want to get the community involved on the show. So you can go ahead and jump in. That's all you got to do is click the link. Boom, that takes you right in. We bring you on the show, and you can join us here for this. So try to get everybody ready for the fantasy championship, and get some of the community on. So.
Crypto Night Vision, 12-team PPR playing for the championship and $1,200 in ETH. Please pick 2. Terry McLaurin, Van Jefferson, Braxton Berrios, A, B.
Brown, Jefferson.
I agree.
Yeah.
Van Jeff and AB.
And you just watch. Terry McLaurin's going to go for 7 for 140 and 2 tomorrow.
He is.
Everybody's now left him for dead because I have also left him for dead.
But you can't do it in the championship.
I'm playing Braxton Berrios over Van Jefferson.
Really?
Stop it.
No.
Get out of here.
That'll be enough of that.
This man has $1,200 on the line while Leo's out here trying to, tell him to play Braxton Berrios.
I mean, hey, no Corey Davis, no Elijah Moore, no Jamison Crowder. They're playing the Bucs. They're going to have to throw the football. Who else is going to get targets?
The ground and the Tampa Bay secondary.
I find it hard.
I am not allowing $1,200 on the line.
No.
I lose it to Braxton Berrios. Okay.
I mean, I'm out
You can
there
even
for
tell me
this.
that Braxton Berrios scored like, hey, I guarantee he gets double-digit points. I can't do it.
I mean, he did last week.
I can't even bring
Well,
myself to play Michael Carter, let alone fucking Braxton Berrios.
Oh no! Now Michael Carter is a different story. I'm playing a lot of Michael Carter on DraftKings this week at $5,100.
Stop it.
Yeah, it is Van Jeff and AB for Isaiah Patterson or Jacobs. I'm not fucking with Patterson. It's gonna be Jacobs for me.
Yep.
Which
Well,
Patterson?
It doesn't
Yes.
matter, does it? It doesn't matter.
I mean,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
if
even
it's
if it's Cordero, I mean,
Yeah. I would
he
go over
doesn't have
Cordero.
the passing usage anymore.
Which is so weird. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I do not
He
understand.
turned back into a pumpkin like we all said he would after everyone.
Well,
treated
it's not even that. It's that they've started to get Mike Davis more involved in the offense, and
For what reason?
Because the Bills
It's
are
just
not good
fucking
against
dumb.
the run. They have been gashed all year against the run. Like they are not good against the run. But I think you got to go Jake.
When they lost Ridley, they just like got confused and started trying shit, and like it hasn't worked.
All right, Kev, how about me and you just rip through a couple of these so we can just keep the bullshitting going along? Because I want to ask about some of the guitars that I see behind Ron. I want to ask about need to ask Giraldi about some crypto and some NFTs as well. It seems like we have some crypto NFT people in here. So Russ Wilson, Taysom Hill, or Trey Lance for crypto?
I would go with Russell Wilson. I'm not sitting Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it's
I really-
closer than it probably is, but that's Russ for me as well. Sebas G, Jacobs, or Damian Harris if he plays?
Damian Harris.
I would go Josh Jacobs.
You think
Fair.
Ramondre is going to be a problem?
Yeah, I think they split touches there. Justin Young, Jefferson without Cousins, AJB, AB, Deontay, or Higgins in full PPR. We need 3 there for Justin. Kev, what you got?
AJ Brown, AB, and Deontay.
Yep. But I'm sure half would say Higgins. Right?
Full PPR for Michael. Foster Moreau, Patty Fry, Gerald Everett. That is going to be Patty Fry for me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Need 2 full PPR for Justin. Mixon, Eckler, Rojo.
Mixon and Eckler.
I'm not saying Mixon.
Saints or Bills D.
That's close. Bills probably,
We'll
but that's
Bills.
close. That's really close, actually.
Is banged up James Conner worth starting over Sony, Michelle, and Rojo? That would be a no for me.
A healthy James Conner would not be worth starting over Sony Michelle or Rojo for me this week.
I would go Rojo, right? Not Sony, right?
I think we just needed 1 there for AJ anyway. So not starting James Conner. Ali rocking with us. If AB misses, do I flex Amon-Ra, Gronk, or Sony Michelle in a PPR? This is an interesting group.
I'm gonna go Michelle.
Yep.
Thought we were going to disagree there. I'm going Michelle as well. Brady or Jalen Hurts?
Brady. I don't know why I had to think about it that long.
Need a flex and a half PPR for Tam, Williams, Hunt, Cooks, or Van Jeff.
Brandon Cooks.
I'm going Daryl.
Darrell Williams there for me as well. Over to Matt. Mike Williams, KJ Osborne, or Darnell Mooney. I'm going Mike Will. Kev, you're going Mooney, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Giraldi, break the tie.
Mike Will.
Already got this one for Dave. Already got that one for NFT Toker. Kirk or Landry for L. Bauer.
Christian Kirk.
Kirk for me as well. Truth teller. Defensive question. Chicago in right now, thinking about getting the Chargers defense. Chicago or Denver. I mean, Chicago or the Chargers, rather. Sorry.
I would stick with Chicago.
Yeah.
Like,
We just saw.
that's splitting hairs.
Yeah, it's close. I would stick with Chicago there. Luke, Dallas or Seattle defense? Do you want the good defense with a bad matchup or the bad defense with a better matchup?
I'm going to go Seattle.
Seattle there for me as well. Pick 3 for Justin: Hill, Jefferson, AB, Debo, or the Sun God.
Hill, AB, and Justin Jefferson.
Hill, AB, and Amon-Ra for me. Mooney or why can't I think of his first name? Either way, it's Mooney for me.
Yes.
Had a complete and utter brain fart there. Yvette, MVS, Renfro, Patterson, or Scott. We need one in the flex. It's going to be Renfro.
Yeah, I would go Hunter Renfro.
Taking a look at Truth Teller's lineup here. Dak at quarterback, Adams and Amari at wide receiver, Sony and Eckler at RB, Dallas Goedert at tight end, Penny in the flex. I like it. Looks good to me.
Especially with the league winner, Rashad Penny, in there.
Oh, God. If we didn't have so many people starting Penny, I would wish ill will on him, just so you cannot parade around saying that anymore, Kev. But we have other people.
I've been saying it for weeks, and it holds true. Rashad Penny, league winner. And for T-Dog, we're going Rashad Penny.
Penny there as well. Anything we're changing here for Truth? We have Javonte Williams, Barkley, Carter, Lazard, Scott. There, we making any changes?
Which is crazy that we're sitting Saquon Barkley. Can we get him out? It's like that video, where there's like a cat inside of the store, and the guy's like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." We need to get Saquon out of New York because that offense is atrocious.
It's bad.
Chris V, Russ or Trey?
I want the rushing upside. I'd take Trey here.
Lance.
Oh boy. Woo! Yao Flores, pick one in a full PPR on the flex. Sony, Javonte, or MVS?
This is Sony.
Boston Scott, Darrell Williams, Rojo. We need 2 here for Carlos.
Sit Boston Scott.
The chat is going crazy. Normally, whenever I'm like 15 minutes away, I can see light at the end of the tunnel, and you guys are keeping us busy here tonight. We appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I know the end of the fantasy playoffs are upon us, but the content will not be stopping here. Going to have more content coming through for Dynasty and the NFL draft. I tried powering through. I did. We need 3 here for Chris. T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, A.J. Brown, Rojo.
A.J. Brown, Deontay, and Ronald Jones.
Dash life. Samuel or A.J. Brown for the flex? That's going to be A.J. Brown for me.
Correct.
Niners or Cowboys?
I'm going 49ers.
You go Niners as well. Deontay Johnson or Patterson at the flex for Chris?
Deontay.
DJ.
Deontay as well. It's Devs, Gage or Van Jeff?
I'm going to go Russell Gage.
Ooh. Yeah, I like Gage there.
Yeah, Van Jeff has gotten a little thin with Odell coming in and doing his thing. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, Waddle, Deontay Johnson. Man,
Jesus.
need 3 of these. How do
Dave, there is no good way you're going to have players on somebody on the bench. You're going to be real mad that you sat here because this is really good. Tyreek is a lock. I'm going to go AJ Brown.
Man, who are you?
I go Waddle there.
I'm going to go with Deontay.
I lean Deontay as well, but man, especially that group is so close.
I would hate my life every single week that I have that when you have that kind of a group.
Yeah. But I'm with you there, Kev. Devonta Smith or Van Jeff?
I'm going Devonta Smith.
Devonta as well, but I get the question. He has fallen off from where it looked like he was going a little kind of mid-season there. Graham needs a defense. Eagles or Bears? I'm going Eagles.
I'm going Bears.
Giraldi, Eagles or Bears?
I'd pick the Philly defense by hair.
Nick, full PPR start at 3. Cup, Debo, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Cooks. Locking in Cup.
Yeah, he's got it.
Are we though? No. Yes, we are.
I was like, oh my god. I was like,
absolutely locking in Cooper Cup. It's Cup, Jefferson.
I'm going Cup, Amon-Ra, and Cooks. I just don't want anything to do with Van Jeff, and I just don't want anything to do with Jefferson, and the matchup isn't great. Now we're talking about Sean fucking Mannion. Especially with those options.
I'm going Cup, Jefferson, and Debo.
Come on, Kev.
So we were just no help there for now. Pedro, Van Jeff or Mike Williams?
Mike Williams.
Patty Fry or Gesicki? I'm going Patty Fry here.
I think I'm going to go Gesicki.
Seahawks or Packers? This is going to be Packers for me.
Yeah.
Matt Twiss. Devonta, Diggs, St. Brown, Higgins, AB. We need 3.
So Diggs, AB, and Amon-Ra.
Yahtzee. Bran Boone. Half PPR, sit 1. AJB, Sony, Rojo, Najee, and Monty. Whew. Man.
I'm setting Rojo every time on that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Huntley or Aaron Rodgers?
You going Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers for me as well. Need 2 running backs here. Najee, Penny, Elijah Mitchell, and Barkley for the Dosh Life.
Najee and league winner.
The league winner, Elijah Mitchell.
He's going to be insufferable too if Penny blows up, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Like if we didn't have so many listeners who were counting on Penny in the finals, I would be wishing the worst, like diarrhea right before the game started, just shitting down his legs. That's what I would hope for Rashad Penny in this one.
Why do you hate Rashad Penny so much?
Because he's not good, and you're going to be insufferable. That's. I don't hate Penny. I hate gloating Kev. Is what I hate.
Oh. Well, I'm never wrong, so you just better get ready.
Here we go. Except one Ty Johnson. So.
I can still be right.
No, you can't. St. Brown, who's been on fire for 4 weeks, or Cooks, who's been up and down full PPR?
Don't do it.
I've been on St. Brown. I'll take the guy who's averaged 22.5 over the last 4 weeks in a row.
Without DeAndre Swift.
I don't know why you keep bringing that up. Like that's some like major factor of as to
Because
why
he-
that's happened.
Because he did absolutely nothing with DeAndre Swift.
So what? They're all of a sudden just going to
So
stop
it
throwing the
was
ball
only
to him?
Swift?
Like, oh, hey man, hey, get out of here. We don't need you anymore. All right, sit down. It's a bad narrative, is what it is. It's baked in nothing.
We'll see.
So I was looking to see if I could find Amon-Ra's A dot.
Oh, it's like
6.8 on the season. So
How about this? Check out the splits with Swift or without Swift. I don't know how you do that, but I bet you it's drastic.
it's definitely different, but TJ Hawkinson has also been out. It's not like Swift has been the only factor in this offense.
I mean, even when TJ Hawkinson was playing, he wasn't.
They both missed time at the same time. Walito, shut your hole.
I don't mind St. Brown, but over Debo seems drastic.
Listen, it's Brandon Cooks, okay?
I mean, I'd take Cooks, I think, over him, but it is also, too, one of those things where, you know, like the with or without Swift narrative, like Kev said, you know, it's like Hawkinson, he's not there. The quarterbacks are different. Like, I mean, this is a game, too, like Detroit's probably going to have to throw a bunch, right? Like, we figure Seattle should win this game-ish. But, I mean, like, this could also be, like, a slow-paced game. I want Cooks.
I think they're going to run a lot in this game. Both of them.
Just so I don't have to see this, I lean Cooks there as well. Just because I think with the slight weather concerns, Swift coming back, I just think with Cooks going up, it's not like that San Francisco defense really bothers us. So I lean Cooks, but that one is close for me. MVS, Lazard, Berrios, Boyd, pick 3 here for Carlos.
Sit Lazard.
Yeah, I think so.
One of them. Don't play them both.
Yeah, I can't go with both Green Bay receivers, so I'm going to sit Lazard as well. B, can I trust Aaron Jones this week? Really questioning to play Dylan over oh, man.
I'd play him over Dylan. He'll still get the red zone. He'll get the goal lines.
Man.
I think I take Aaron Jones by a little bit, but I mean, like, this could literally be like 1.5 points difference, you know, like at the end of the day, because Green Bay should fucking smash this game, right? Like, but I give me Aaron Jones a little bit on that one. If he's playing, I want him over Dylan.
If you had someone from a different team, we might be able to have a conversation here, but man, what I'm going Aaron Jones there as well. Good luck to you. B full PPR lineup for Patrick Hurts, Chubb, Mixon, AB, Debo, Kelsey, AJ Brown. Buffalo's defense currently on the bench is Keenan, Chase, St. Brown, Deontay Johnson, Kittle, Gronk. Woo!
Well, play Chase, man. But
man,
well, you guys play St. Brown over Debo, so that can't be your choice.
I'd go Jamar Chase over Debo.
Yeah, we're sitting Debo. It's just a question of
yes.
I think you got to go Jamar Chase.
Yeah, you do have to go Jamar Chase.
I think Keenan is interesting here with Bryce Callahan out.
I'd still go Chase. Just for touchdowns. I mean, the guy scores touchdowns.
When they have the second highest total on this. This is like the second highest total on the slate, right behind. I mean, barely behind the Cowboys Cardinals game. They're going to have to throw the ball, and Debo worries me with having Trey Lance back there. I know in one of the games I think he got there, but it was on some terribly thrown duck that he threw in the air, and Debo was able to get under it, and there happened to be nobody around him, and he scored a touchdown off that. Or it's just really tough to trust. I think with obviously Debo's been fantastic this year, but having Trey Lance is a little bit different. I'm a little bit concerned with that, and then Jamar Chase, in matchup against Kansas City, they're going to have to throw the ball a ton. So matchup is the game script is going to be there for them.
That is one stacked team.
I would lean Keenan, but I like Chase as well. That group is close. I'm fine with Chase if that's the consensus. But sitting Debo for sure. Another one here from Matt Twist. Standard, Diggs, Higgins, AB, St. Brown, Devonta Smith. Start 3.
First 3.
Yep.
In a standard, yes, I would agree, yes.
Yeah. Josh Chan, Happy New Year to you as well. Full PPR, have to sit one between AJB, Waddle, Rojo, Monty.
Rojo.
Yep, sitting Rojo there as well.
Yep.
Who do I bench between Zeke or Javonte in a half PPR?
Javonte.
Yeah. But it's closer than it should be.
I'm benching Zeke.
It's closer than it should be.
I don't hate it either.
Chargers defense is a run funnel, and with Drew Lock at quarterback, I think that's closer than we should think.
I mean, it is closer. I'd probably still have to play Zeke for the touchdown upside, but it's closer than it should be.
Zeke's been looking a little bit better the past couple weeks, too, in terms of his explosiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't lying this time. He actually looked better. The first 5 times they said it, he didn't look better, but he did actually look better this week.
Kev, 2 of your guys this week, AB or Darrell Williams?
AB.
Cowboys or Niners? We said Niners on that one. Edmonds or Gage in the flex?
You said
is this gonna be an if Connor sits?
No, it's just Chase Edmonds whether he plays or not.
Regardless, I would play Chase. I'm not playing.
Jess Walker, Boston Scott, Damian Harris or Jarrett Patterson?
Damian Harris.
Yep.
It's not a Super Bowl, it's a championship, but I got you.
Semantics.
I mean, everybody calls it something different. I mean,
Super Bowl is already
there's a lot of people that call it.
This is the closest that we'll ever get to a Super Bowl, so I'm fine with calling it a Super Bowl.
Do you have a parade afterwards? Like, just go out and that'd be great. Just go out, drive around your block, sit out, have your wife or whatever drive you, and you sit out the car and put the trophy up and everything.
In the back of the truck.
Have some kids out there throwing you some beers and some beads, tossing about some candy and everything. That should really be a thing. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
That
if that's
should
what
be
we
a
did,
thing.
You get the Shiva mobile from the league, right? Got the trophy on top of the car.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the Super Bowl is already a thing.
The hell you say?
If Jordan Howard sits, I'm going Boston Scott.
But I don't think he will. He was at practice.
I would agree. I think if Jordan Howard's out, I would go Boston Scott. But it's not sounding that way. He got in a limited practice towards the end of the week. So I would say it's probably you're going to have to go Damian Harris.
No, I'm going to go Boston Scott no matter what.
No matter what? Did you say?
Yeah, I did say it.
Okay.
One wide receiver, 2 flex, 4 Savvy, Eli, AJ Brown, Waddle, Penny, or Javonte. So with the wide receivers, AJ Brown or Waddle, I'm going to go AJB. Kev, I think you're on the same page.
Correct, and then Waddle's the second flex, or the first flex. The second flex is going to be Rashad Penny.
Or Javante, whatever you feel.
Penny there for me as well. Jared Patterson, Renfro, Cooks, or St. Brown at the flex.
ASB for me.
I'm going to go Renfro.
Yeah, I play Renfro. Wait, is it PPR or standard or half? PPR or Renfro?
Yeah, if it's PPR, I'm going Renfro. If it's standard, I think I'd take Cooks.
Yeah.
Rojo or Najee for Justin?
Najee.
Yeah.
Who to start between Barkley, D-Will, or Michael Carter in a half PPR? This is where we are with Saquon Barkley. Welcome to 2021.
It is 2022, sir. It is new year, new me.
Same year.
We're going to keep the bad juju regarding Saquon, though, in 2021. Maybe in 2022 it bounces back a little bit.
I'll take Saquon in the 4th round next year.
Dude, it's sad that like he won't slip that far, but it's sad that we will be probably looking at him at like the back end of the second.
Let's get through some of these questions because I do want to talk about some 2022 stuff, but as well. So let's get through this. This is Darrell Williams, though.
Darrell Williams. We are getting close to the end of the tunnel. We appreciate all the questions and you guys rocking with us again. If you want to jump on and be with us, you can click the pinned comment, and that'll just pull you in to the live stream here. If you guys want to hang out with us, or if you just want to keep rocking with us in the chat, that's fine as well. Burrow or Brady for Rick North?
I'm not saying Brady. Yeah, I'm fine, Brady.
Joe Burrow.
Brady, just because Walito tried to sneak that in.
Eagles. It's great. All right.
Eagles or Miami's defense is going to be the Eagles.
Yes.
Gronk or Schultz? I'm going Gronk here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because Gallup and Schultz are the same person, and it's hard to determine who gets it.
Saints or Philly? This is going to be Philly for me as well.
Philly.
Yes.
But closer.
Boston Scott, Connor, and CPAT. We need 2.
I don't know.
Cordell Patterson.
I'm not playing James Conner.
I don't know.
And then I'm going to go with Boston Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Sure.
Bears, me on me. Packers.
This is the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears.
Against the Giants?
I'd be
I'll take
going
Green Bay.
Packers here.
Jake Fromm.
Or
no, wait.
Actually, I do agree. I think I would go Packers with Mannion. Yes.
Yeah.
Who's playing? If it's Fromm, I would go them. But if it's Glennon, I have a little more faith in the Giants.
Yeah, Fromm looked fucking terrible.
I mean, Fromm was hard.
He really did. It was awful.
Luke, I just think in this matchup, it's not necessarily disrespecting Debo. It's just the matchup. Trey Lance being in, they're almost 10-point favorites. I think 9.5 is the line. This is a Debo friendly podcast here. It's just
it's tough. I mean, it is tough to sit him. I mean, because the guy's been so goddamn good all year. I mean, and so I don't feel great about not playing Debo Samuel. It's just the other options that are sitting there are. And just as good, if not better, spots than he is. And with Trey Lance, if it was Jimmy Garoppolo, it would be a completely different conversation, and he would be locked in.
Yeah.
He does get the rushing upside, but when you have a quarterback like Trey Lance, who in his starts this year has had a lot of carries. I mean, you look at him this year. I mean, he had what? Let's see. The game he had 89 rushing yards, and then he had 41 rushing yards in those 2 games that he started. So it's tough to it ends up taking away from everybody else when you have a running quarterback. And so it would be different if this game was going to be it was a different matchup, and it was a game where you felt like that they were going to really have to throw the ball. If Houston can do what they did to the Chargers last week, then this would be a different conversation because then I think you're forced to throw the ball.
I think the other thing is if Elijah Mitchell plays and given the point spread and whatnot on this, like if Elijah Mitchell plays, he is arguably like he's a top 5 running back this week potentially. Like I mean, that's going to eat into some of Debo's upside just in the rushing game in particular. So, I mean, like, I think Debo's still, like, you're going to start him over most people. It's just
I'm Ross St. Brown. You're going to start him over St. Brown.
Debatable.
Yes.
It's not debatable.
But yeah.
Fusser or Patty Fry here for Brian is going to be Patty Fry.
Yeah.
Singletary or Damian Harris. This is Devin Singletary, baby.
Really?
I agree.
Yep.
Flip a coin.
How about Singletary or Javante? Because they're closer to me in like the
Singletary.
range.
Singletary for me.
Yeah.
For the championship here for Nick M. Patty Fry or, man, we've had a lot of Patty Fry or Foster Moreau questions.
Yeah.
Patty Fry
Patty
here.
Fry.
Patty Fry for us. David, here we go. Davis Mills or Ryan Tannehill?
I'd have to go Mills, right?
Davis Mills.
Right? I mean, I'm glad you got A.J. Brown back. But
I mean, Davis Mills he has played better than Tannehill.
Yeah, he really has. Well, I thought Dalton was starting. Oh, David Mills, Houston.
It's crazy because Tannehill turns the ball over so much.
Yeah,
Man.
and he doesn't have
This
Julio,
is
right?
Way
Davis
closer.
Davis Mills is averaging 20 fantasy points per game in his last 3
I'd
years.
have to go Mills for the running upside, right?
I mean, Tannehill can run.
Does he though?
I mean, I think he has like 8 rushing touchdowns or 7.
Yeah, 7 rushing touchdowns.
Really, this year? That's
Yes.
crazy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
13th in carries, 12th in
Yeah.
rushing yards.
I mean, the last 5 games.
That's a lot.
I mean,
That's a lot. Of
Davis Mills doesn't have any more than 2 rush attempts, and his highest is 11 yards.
So like the
rushing.
last 5 games for Tannehill, 9 points, 16, 7, 16. It's not pretty.
Yeah, I'd have to go Mills.
I mean, he hasn't topped 15 in the last.
I don't mind Davis Mills. I mean, he continues to produce, but
I mean, he's gonna have to throw the football against the 49ers. So
Yeah, garbage time is championship time.
I mean, the 49ers secondary is not a secondary that scares you.
Is this your starting quarterback or a super flex?
I mean, I don't know if it does it matter.
Well, no, but I feel better about it if it was super flex. Right?
Man.
It wasn't my starter. But
I'm gonna go Tannehill, but I don't love it.
because they both have upside, but like their floors are like, yeah. I'd have to go Mills for the floor, right?
Yeah, and I mean, unless you're in like a crazy penalized league for like turnovers or whatnot too, like Mills to me does have the passing upside here. Like he's going to have to throw this ball 30 plus times, right? Like it's just a game. Like the narrative says, the Niners are in control. They run the ball. Houston's playing catch up.
So over the last 3 games, Davis Mills has 18, 15.6, and 18.1.
So he's not like
Yes.
killing it, but
He has 1 game with 300 passing yards. That was Week 14 against Seattle.
how about this? How many times has Mills beat Tannehill in the last weeks? All of
He
them?
might have beat him all 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, all 3.
Yeah, but
all 3 weeks.
AJ Brown has also been out for the majority of that
True.
as well.
and Brown is a beast. Tannehill loves Brown, man.
I mean, Davis Mills did better than Tannehill last week, and AJ Brown had like 15 catches.
And he has Cooks. He has Cooks back.
Yes, Cooks
Yeah.
is playing.
He did it without Cooks, right?
Yeah, we got a good Nico Collins performance.
I mean, even
Let's go.
even after AJ Brown's performance last week, Tannehill was still bad.
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to play Tannehill. Not that Davis Mills is like lighting up any what excitement bells or anything, but
Well, I mean, he's definitely outplaying expectation. I know that.
hmm I mean, he's looked better than Tyrod Taylor for sure.
That's a pretty low bar, but yes, yes.
Yeah, like I said, Tannehill for me, but I do not love it.
I think Tyrod Taylor has lost more starting positions than any quarterback in the history of the game. He starts like as the starter every year and then gets displaced by the younger person.
Boston Scott, if no Howard or Penny.
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 Yeah.
Penny for me as well. Appreciate you rocking with us, Matt. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe and that like button if you have yet to do so. Pick 3 here for Justin. Cup, Adams, Hill, Jefferson, Debo.
Cup, Adams, Hill.
I feel like this is just like Justin just flexing on us, like how good this team is. Like let me drop this team in the chat to let him. There's no chance in hell you're sitting Cup, Devontae Adams, or Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's an obvious.
It would be an interesting conversation if Cousins were in. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think the question would be between Hill and Justin Jefferson. I think would be the question.
Foster or Gerald?
This is Foster.
Gerald Everett.
I mean, whoever.
Speaking of Foster, Nick would love to hear some reasoning for Patty Fry over Foster Moreau. I feel like Foster's on fire, has the better matchup.
You feel like Foster's on fire? I don't feel like
he has been seeing consistent. He hasn't been great the last 2 weeks, 13 and a half and 10.7, but you have to keep in the context of what we're talking. We're still talking about a tight end where, so those aren't actually bad numbers. Those are both top 10 numbers among all tight ends over the last 2 weeks. Now, Patty Fry has obviously been out with a concussion. But, even still, I mean, when you look at Patty Fry, I mean, he has been a pretty solid source of fantasy production as well. For the most part, this year, every time that he's been out there, they have nobody else either. Obviously, there's a little bit more of a consolidated target share, but I just have, I feel like that this Browns and Steelers game could end up being a shootout. And
I think once you get past Pitts in the rankings, it's touchdown upside. So you base it just on, and Muth has more touchdown upside.
The thing with Indy as well, I think they are giving up the third most half PPR points per game to tight end, but a heavy chunk of that came whenever Mark Andrews just absolutely smacked his dick on their forehead and went 11 for 147 and 2. You're talking 32 half PPR points in that game. And outside of that, I mean, Gesicki had 5 for 57 in the score. Jeff Swaim 4 for 23 in the score.
If Jeff Swaim can do it, anyone can do it, right?
Dawson Knox 6 for 80. Gronk hit them 7 for 123. And Hunter Henry the other week was whenever he had his 2 touchdown performance and went 6 for 77 and 2. But like I said, if you if you take away this, but still. That's just a monster game from Andrews there, and then Cleveland has let up some bigger games like that as well. I mean, Kelsey week 1 22.6, Patty Fry hit them for 12.4 in week 8, 4 for 44 in a score. Hunter Henry another 2 touchdown performance against them, and then Mark Andrews again 11 for 115 in a score in week 14, and then Moreau actually hit them for 7 for 65 in one of his bigger games. So I think the raw point totals are a little bit misleading here. And also something that's been weird over the past couple weeks is the fact that Renfro has not been as involved, and they've been kind of spreading the ball around a little bit more, which I don't fully understand. I mean, I guess if you have Zay Jones, you just have to get him involved over Hunter Renfro.
I think some of it too is teams are taking him away.
They've been doubling Renfro with a safety behind him. It's hard to produce with that.
But that's where I'm
to me, I think it's really close between the two of them. I think both of them are kind of right there with each other.
Those are my thoughts.
Ben throws a lot in his last game home. I mean, he's been at that stadium for a long time. You have to. I know it's stupid to bank on narratives, but He's going to want to throw the ball instead of running, don't you think?
I think he's just going to want to win so they can try and sneak into the playoffs. But I'm still going Patty Fry there. Happy New Year to you as well, Trojan3659. Need advice, Keenan Allen or Adams for the wide receivers? That is going to be Adams. Start at running back, Eckler, Swift, and Michelle.
Eckler, Swift.
Or wait. Oh, okay, never mind.
He's saying that's who he started.
Yeah. On the bench,
Okay.
AB, Javonte, Penny, Mitchell, Rojo. Are we getting in any of these guys?
Yes,
obviously
Antonio Brown should
AB.
start over Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Brown over Allen, unless he doesn't play, of course. But
And then I'm going Penny over Swift.
or like before the game, you hear that he's like hurt, but they're going to play him anyway or something. Like if they say he's a full go, you got to play.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are not sitting DeAndre Swift.
No.
I there's no way I am. If he's
I'm not
playing-
sitting Swift. I'm not sitting Swift.
No, we
I'm not
cannot.
sitting Eckler.
We cannot sit DeAndre Swift.
I'm not sitting Eckler either.
No. So then it comes down to really it's Michelle, Penny, Rojo, or Elijah Mitchell.
I mean, I like
Or
Michelle
Allen.
more than
Or
Eckler
Allen.
and Swift, honestly. So I mean, I wouldn't change anything other than the Keenan Allen AB debate. Like if AB's playing, I'm playing him probably over Keenan.
Right.
Yeah,
But if he doesn't play, Keenan's a fine switch.
Yes.
Keenan has a terrible matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I would play AB over Keenan.
Adams and Diggs, a wide receiver 1 and 2, where Green Bay will get a big start and run the ball more. Do I
Don't
do
worry.
Waddle over Adams?
Ooh,
No, because if you got to assume that Adams is going to be part of them getting that big lead as well.
Yep.
And I don't think even if they do jump out to a big lead, that it might take some of the attempts away from Aaron Rodgers, but they're not just going to go and hand the ball off, the entire second half. They're still going to throw it, and that secondary is straight booty holes. So
I mean, I would
Yeah,
sit
that's
Diggs
what-
before Allen.
That's what they
or
always do.
before
They just
Adams.
they run the football down the field. They get to the 2-yard line and they just throw it to Devontae Adams.
Yeah, you're not going to sit Adams. Don't sit Adams.
we need one beer here. I think I would consider this more of a standard league instead of a full PPR, since we're talking
Yeah.
all light beers.
Coors,
But
right?
this is Bud Light for me.
I'm
Bud?
picking, I'm
Coors.
picking PBR up off the waiver wire.
Yeah. I'm not going
Hand
Bud
grenades,
Light.
bro.
Well done.
Bud Light.
Do you-
They're all
You
like
guys-
water. They're all like water.
Have you guys had Keystone Light, or is that more of a PA thing?
Keystone. Well, I'm from PA.
Dude, that was the beer of choice for me in college. I went to Chico State in California, and every fucking morning that you'd wake up the next day after like a Friday and Saturday, you'd see like 40 cans just littered across people's lawns of Keystone. It was
That was-
ridiculous.
Keystone?
Okay.
That was Natty Ice
I've never
for
been a
us.
Keystone guy. It's always been when I was like high school and all that stuff younger. It was Natty Light.
Yeah, Natty Ice. Natty Ice for us. But
Okay, Natty Ice you could just
Yeah.
die from. Like
they were just like, Natty Ice would be everywhere.
complete gut rot. But
You get a half keg of Natty Ice, that shit was a party.
do we not include Bush Light in this? Because that's the one I would go with.
Busch-
Light.
Bush actually is underrespected. It tastes
The
pretty
Bush
good.
Latte. But if I had to go with one of these three, I hate Miller Lite. I cannot stand the taste of it.
Yeah.
I do not like it. So
I
I
mean,
mean, down to
was super
Coors
bad.
and Bud. And I guess I would go with Bud Light.
Bud Light's disgusting. I would take Coors over Bud Light. Bud Light's disgusting. It's like drinking water.
My go-to cheap beer, I don't know if anyone's had this, was it's called extra gold.
Nah.
Because what ended up happening was Natty Lights was the cheap beer of choice, but because it was a cheap beer of choice, the price started creeping up. So that one got out of my price range, and a 12-pack of extra gold was like $6.75, I think, like under $7. Just awful.
Have you ever had Old Crow whiskey?
Yeah. Nah.
It is
sounds
cheap
good.
ass. Like, because I was in the Navy, and there would be a couple of times like we would all get too fucked up and spend too much money. So the next night we'd have to like go like pull our money together, and I remember one time we bought Old Crow whiskey. It was like $8 for a fifth, and it was disgusting, but I got the job done.
That's like Bankers Club,
death
right?
the next day, but yeah,
Ancient aged too. That shit's like that.
yeah. It's
Nikolai. You ever drink Nikolai vodka?
Vladimir was our
Vlad. That's gross.
yeah. Vladdy was. I was more of an Admiral Nelson.
I'm like, just spend the money to get to Smirnoff. Seriously, like if like you don't have to get to like Grey Goose, but spend the money to get to Smirnoff.
Get something in a glass bottle.
Shit is nasty.
Getting back on track here, Trojan also has Brady at quarterback. Both of the main receivers are out. Would you flip to Lance or Huntley?
No.
I couldn't do that. Brady's been putting up points of production.
Yeah, I would go to Brady, right?
So we're saying if AB and Mike Evans were out,
I
I
think
would
you
go
could
to Huntley.
maybe make a case for Huntley in that situation.
I don't
But
know.
I'm not benching Brady.
I feel like if you have all those players out and you're leaning on Tyler Jefferson
Scotty Miller and Tyler
and
Johnson.
Scotty
know,
Miller
man.
and all those guys, like I could just see them just say, okay, we're just gonna run the ball 40 times.
I've seen Brady throw to some trash in New
and
England.
so I would just go Huntley, with the rushing upside.
You know, that's the thing is like
I don't
even
know.
if they had Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, that even worse than what Brady was rolling out there with New England the past like year or two?
I'd have to.
Yeah, but he also wasn't great for in New England. Like he wasn't like the guy that we wanted to play whenever he was in New England either.
For sure.
So what was the consensus here?
I'll play Brady.
Yeah, I mean, I would. If all those guys were out, I would play Huntley over Brady. But
Huntley.
I mean, Gronk will be in regardless, right? So
He should.
I mean, Brady has thrown the trash a lot over his career.
I'll
Full
play Huntley
PPR.
with-
Choose one here for Nick: Wilson, Hunt, Gore, Gordon.
Ew.
Is that
so we're
Jeff
not.
Wilson?
I don't know if Kareem Hunt's going to be back or not. But he also plays Monday night, and you're not going to have the luxury of
Is that-
figuring it out.
Gordon, right?
If that's Melvin Gordon, I'm going to go Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, it's Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon for me.
No, okay. Well, if Elijah Mitchell does not play, I'm going to go
Right.
obviously Jeff
Yes.
Wilson.
Right,
Smash
right.
play.
If
Seems
Mitchell doesn't
like-
play Wilson, obviously.
Seems like Eli is coming back though.
Yeah,
he's
he's
playing.
supposed to play.
Yeah, he's
I
expected. to
think I would go with Derek Gore.
Nah, over Gordon.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the Chiefs fan.
It's called logic.
Logic.
It's Melvin. It's Melvin Gordon for
Yeah.
these. You've been overruled on this one, Kev.
Darren
Kevin
Gordon's
Scott,
gonna
Daryl
be like
Williams,
big
Sony
plays.
Michelle, Eli Mitchell. We need one. Second one, I think we're all going to say Mike Williams there across the board. So for the running backs, Williams, Michelle, Mitchell.
Sony Michelle.
Yeah.
That's
It's not
Sony for
very.
me
It's
as well.
not very close, to be honest.
Daryl Williams is pretty close, but yeah.
Jonathan Parker, choose 3 of the 5. Harris, Penny, Rojo, Swift, Monty.
Swift.
Damian should play though. I think he got in limited practices all week, so he should be good to go.
This is
Swift,
Montgomery.
Monty, and
Monty.
Penny.
So Monty, Swift, or locks.
Right, exactly.
And then Penny.
That last one.
I mean, it's Penny or Rojo, but I'm playing Penny over Rojo.
I'd probably play Rojo, but I get it. If he fumbles, he's like out for the rest of the game. It's hard. I
don't think he's gonna have that. They're gonna have that luxury. I don't think they just give because they also hate Keyshawn Vaughn. So I don't think Keyshawn Vaughn is gonna see the field the entire time the rest of the way either.
If Ryan was here, I mean, we'll be talking about Le'Veon Bell revenge narrative against the Jets.
Le'Veon Bell. I don't care where he is.
Le'Veon Bell going back to New York against the Jets.
There's another one. Can you imagine if Bell took that Pittsburgh contract for 5 years that they offered him? He screwed himself out of like $100 million. It's like,
Start 3 here for Emilio, JT, Eckler, Chubb, Swift, Javante.
Taylor Eckler Chubb.
Yeah, I'm sticking with what he has.
Yeah, first three there. Who can you trust more, Rojo or AB?
AB.
AB.
Yeah, if AB plays,
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be peppered.
Yeah. I'm not saying AB, but
Brandon
he
Cooks
can't
or
fumble.
Devonta Smith?
Fuck.
He's not going to fumble away. So. I would go Cooks, right?
I go Cooks here, man. Devontae Smith, like he's getting some targets and whatnot, but it's just
I like Smith. But.
Yeah, same. But yeah.
Cooks there. Dave M. The final lineup is Mahomes, Javonte, Michelle, Monty, Waddle, Tyreek, Deontay, Johnson, Patty Fry, Saints, D.
How do we know any changes versus the bench? Am I missing it? Right?
No, just from all the questions from Dave over.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could see upside for every single one of like the more questionable guys. Like Javonte Williams in that situation and Freiermuth are probably like the only guys that you're considering benching, right? Like, or swapping in for someone. And both of the guys do have like immense upside given their matchups and whatnot. Like
Possibly Sony, but it depends who else he has on the bench. But probably, yeah, you're right.
I mean, so Sony Michelle, because Henderson's out, right? Like,
yeah, he is definitely out. And
yeah, I mean,
Cam Akers isn't playing. He isn't playing.
No.
Guys, he isn't playing.
It was a super flex for Matt. Doesn't really matter with
right?
Mills or
No, it doesn't matter. It makes me feel better.
No. You're still playing one of those two. It doesn't matter. You're still having to decide between syphilis and gonorrhea.
It makes me feel better about Matt. It makes me feel better for Matt. That's it.
Polar, I need help. If you have any, is there anything like beard oils or those things just a waste of money? Nothing on my face connects. Nothing touched. There's no hair. I have this here, and then I have this. This literally is just.
I got the one. Wait, the one on the side that goes like right to the goatee.
This might be one of my favorite comments ever. By the way, this is fantastic. That is good. Thank you for holding it down for us on Twitch over there. Polar Knights, Packers D or Niners D. I'm gonna go Packers here.
Yep.
Yeah. But Dallas over the Niners. I don't know what you're thinking with that.
Mahomes or Rodgers?
Rodgers. Well,
man,
that is
this is tougher than it could be. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're not debating this like 4 months ago, and this is one though like that you know it's like
that is hard.
I go into like the game narratives and Vegas lines and everything like that. Like that Cincy KC game is just gonna be a fucking high scoring game. Like it should be a lot more competitive. Like I want quarterbacks that are in close games in that kind of situation. Like I know the Packers will get the lead because of Aaron Rodgers, but you know, like this is a situation where like the Chiefs they're back at full health essentially, right? Like CEH is out, but it's like you got Tyreek. They should have Kelsey back.
Yeah, you'd have to get Mahomes, right? It is Mahomes, because he can. Well, does he run this year? He runs this year, right?
Yeah, he's been getting a decent amount. I don't think like a ton, but like yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Mahomes, but that is not a decision that I would love to make.
I don't envy that one right there.
No, not at all. Mahomes, but that's man.
Well, D.
I don't think,
for sure.
I don't think either. I don't think either of those guys just absolutely explodes and the other one does shit. So I think you're fine either way, but hopefully that one does not come back to like the decision you're making that cost you the ship.
Yeah,
this one is going to be
4 points or something in that.
Right. This one's going to be Darrell Williams, but Dare would be second here. for me, Fam first, would you leave Diggs in a bad weather game or sub in Brandon Cooks?
I play Diggs.
Yeah, still going.
Diggs creates separation with double teams on bad matchups, so I would play Diggs.
Yeah, the other thing is too, don't ever read in too much to weather when it's not like there's not much wind in this situation. Like
It might
10 to
change
15.
for the game too. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it just looks like it's going to be cold and foggy. You know, it's
20 miles per hour wind is where you worry. Anything over that, but other than that, it's like who cares?
I mean, dude, it could be a fucking monsoon, and I'm still playing Diggs in that game.
Yeah, I mean,
Fam first, check Google Roto Grinders weather NFL, and that's that is my go-to for anything weather related in the NFL games. So keep an eye on that tomorrow just to make sure that nothing changes. We will be live again in 12 hours as well. So
now
join us.
If Seahawks get the snow, Penny goes up. If Seahawks get snow, but
It doesn't look like they're getting snow.
yeah.
Jason Edwards, should I start Everett or Fant?
Fant?
Yeah,
They're pretty close.
I just how much is Seattle going to have to throw in this game? Like honestly, like it seems like this is going to be one of those Pete Carroll like just run the ball.
It does feel like
you know.
It feels like a running game. It feels like a running game.
I take Pittman over Moore a little bit there too for the receivers.
As long as Wentz is back, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, if they're starting Ellinger or whatever other fucking backup they have, like, you know, I'd probably go to Moore.
Wentz was activated, so
okay.
I would go Fant there. I do not love that either way. So
I would go
feel like
Freiermuth if he's there. Is Freiermuth there?
I can't imagine he's available.
I like
that one's
when he got the IR.
That one's also going to be Pittman for me on the second one as well. Pathea, Rojo, or Zeke?
I still go Zeke, but I get it because of the touchdowns. But Rojo has a better spot. He is definitely in a better spot. I just think they're going to feed Zeke touchdown.
Man.
Rojo's going to get more yards. I'll guarantee that. He's going to get more yards, but Zeke has the better touchdown upside. They give him every goal line carry. They give him every red zone carry. Like, Pollard has to score from 29 yards out to score. Pollard never scores in the red zone. He scores.
In the past 4 games, the Cardinals are giving up some running yards here too, though on the ground. Like their defense, like I mean, DeAndre Hopkins didn't play defense for them, and it looks like their run defense has started to take a little bit of hit since the bye week. I mean, Craig Reynolds ran for 112 on him. Like Zeke should be able to match that, and if he gets in the end zone there,
this is like the ultimate start your studs or not.
Yes,
in the fantasy championship type question.
Because
Rojo was like a bum for 90% of the season, but that's close, man. That is close.
Yeah,
man.
I
gotta go Zeke, but
I wish Robbie would answer this question.
I think the other thing is too with Rojo here is, you know, I mean, like he and Keyshawn Vaughn, like there wasn't that huge of a separation on snaps last week. Like it was 52% to 36% for favoring Rojo. Like, I mean, I don't know if we think that Rojo is going to be a bell cow necessarily this week.
Most of the snaps that Keyshawn Vaughn played were passing plays for Tampa.
And they like to use a bell cow in Tampa Bay. They like to use one running back that gets warm. You know, I mean, look at Rojo's usage throughout the year, though he does hate Rojo. But
Kashawn
Well, that's
Vaughn
a little
wasn't
bit of an
like
outlier, though, because that's not how it used to. I mean, last year that's not how it was. It was a complete
Nah.
committee.
Kashawn Vaughn
And
is also
Leonard
yeah.
Fournette had just played out of his mind, and so that's why they've really just went with him. But
and they like to use Kashawn Vaughn as a blocker as well because Ronald Jones is not a great blocker.
Rojo is more talented than people give him credit for. He just fumbles a lot and doesn't catch the ball.
I mean-
He drops balls and he fumbles.
Yes,
But when he
yes.
runs, he's good. When
He's
he runs,
good, but he can't block and he drops balls and he fumbles.
And if he drops the ball one time, then he's not playing for the rest of the game.
my biggest thing, right? That's my biggest thing with Rojo is he fumbles and they bench him. That's
I
my.
don't think they. I don't also think they have that luxury this week, though.
Correct.
I mean, they have Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Le'Veon Bell. Come on, man.
Moving on, CB needs 3 out of this. Kamara, Sony, Harris, Darrell Williams, Penny.
Kamara, Michelle, and Penny.
Yes.
What if you're doing that if that's Najee as well?
What?
Oh, no. If that's Najee, then it's Kamara, Najee, and Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's Damon Harris, then it's Kamara, Sony, and Penny.
Okay.
I was assuming Damien because of the order, but
Yeah,
And
I
that
figured
was
the
gonna
order.
Yeah, I just assumed it was Damon Harris.
Then it's going to be Knox for me for the tight ends.
Yes.
Yes.
Superflex for Ronnie Santana rocking with us once again. Hill, Lance, Huntley. I think we had this question before, but it was for a one QB spot.
I think Will said Huntley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Huntley there, Ronnie. Appreciate the question. Saints D or San Fran?
Saints.
Niners.
I would go Saints.
Really?
Saints as well. Glock guy rocking with us. Javonte over Eli if he plays. I would go Eli over Javonte.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Eli plays, he's. I'm not benching him.
Unless you hear like he's limited or something, like they're going to split tight. Like they actually say that before the game starts, but I don't see why they would say it.
I mean, even if Mitchell gets limited snaps, like if he's playing, I mean, he just has so much immense upside, even for a limited role.
Yeah, I think Javonte he's in a great spot as well.
He does, but he has
I'm just assuming that if Eli plays, he's going to get the bulk of the carries.
Eli can probably do it without breaking one. Javonte has to break one, but Javonte can break one.
Yeah, if we get any kind of news that it's going to be a split or anything like that, I'm going Javonte. But assuming that we don't get that kind of news, I'm going Eli there. CB needs 2: Justin Jefferson, Renfro, Higgins, DK, Evans if he plays.
Higgins, Jefferson.
Jefferson, Higgins.
Correct.
Kev, where are you at on this one?
Jefferson and DK.
Damn, you really hate T. Higgins.
If Evans plays, I'm going Evans and Renfro.
I don't know with Evans because if
Evans
plays,
is a hamstring, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a hamstring injury.
Yeah, but he also missed last week. You know what I mean? So this is another case where going up against the Jets, I feel like if Evans is active, he should be playing at least 70% of his regular complement of snaps. I can't imagine that they throw Evans in there if they think he has any shot of re-injuring that hammy, or if the chance is high that he doesn't.
But I don't think they need him to play. That's the thing. They don't need.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
if he's active, that's why I feel good about playing him. You know what I mean? Because of that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to risk him in a game like this. So if he
Yeah.
plays, he's got to be good to go if he's playing. Fuck, man.
And if he doesn't, it would be Renfro and Higgins for me if he doesn't.
So you're sitting Jefferson?
I want nothing to do with Sean Mannion. And Green Bay's secondary has we were trying to attack Green Bay's secondary all year because of how bad they were last year. They've been playing pretty well. Jair Alexander is back. There's no Adam Thielen.
No,
it's
out.
fucking Sean Mannion.
Jerry Alexander is out this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's been ruled out.
I mean, either way, they were still playing. They're still playing well without Jair in there.
Yeah, I get it, but I just think he's gonna get so many targets to be able to sit him.
Truth, good luck to you. Hope you bring home that chip. Hurts or Aaron Rodgers for Jasper here?
Rodgers.
Yes.
I'm not sitting Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I mean, if all it is the temp like that.
That's all it is. It's just temperature. It's
Yeah.
like 5 degrees.
He plays in Green Bay. It's always cold.
Live creation. Taysom over Russ.
No, but it is closer than it should be.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, if Russ was still playing like shit, but he's been playing better.
Has he?
Better. Yeah.
Low bar.
I mean, better. I mean, he doesn't throw. He throws the football like 17 times a game. So.
I think the finger is less of an issue now.
My wife told me I've been lasting longer as well. If AB doesn't play, Amon-Ra St. Brown or OBJ.
Oh my.
Probably St. Brown, right?
OBJ.
Man, you're starting St. Brown over Debo, but not OBJ. I don't know.
Completely different.
Because the
quarterback
Ravens suck.
situations.
Because the Ravens are absolutely terrible against the pass, and they have allowed the biggest.
Yeah, they have. But
they have allowed the most 20+ yard plays all season long.
Yeah,
St. Brown is less touchdown dependent. That's for sure.
OBJ for me.
It is close. It
Super
is
close.
Yeah.
Here's a question: OBJ or Debo?
OBJ.
Really? Man.
I would go Debo.
Yeah, I would go Debo.
Yeah.
Standard scoring, sit one, Sony, Penny, Eli, or Rojo.
Ooh.
Sony?
I'm sitting. I'm
I'm gonna sit Rojo.
Yeah, I'm sitting Rojo. Very close though.
Yes. Yeah, I'm paying attention to like follow. I mean, there's a lot of good lists and stuff on Twitter and whatnot for like beat writers and whatnot. And like, I think that's one of those situations where I'm paying attention to the pregame like talk about how Eli looks. You know, just
Yeah.
you know, like pay attention to like stuff like that. But
I'm worried Wilson gets more of a split than he ever has had.
I mean, especially in standard, you want touchdowns.
Yeah, touchdown upside is key there.
And I think
Rojo has pretty good touchdown upside.
He does.
He does.
So does Penny, really. I'm just confused whether Mitchell plays his full snap share. If he does, he's above those guys, but
Yeah, there's no way to know that. We're not going to know that.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have to.
Yeah, it's. But it's close that at this point. I mean, you can sit Elijah Mitchell. I mean, it's close enough.
I don't think he's going to kill you to play any.
Like I don't think like. I don't think Mitchell and Rojo are that far off from each other.
Yeah, I think it's closer than it.
I honestly have Sony behind Rojo.
I think at this point, might just play Rojo and just sit the guy that is banged up. Just play the guy that's banged up and just play the healthy running backs.
Yeah. Paul made it to the big dance, had Cousins and Jefferson, picked up Lance. We would prefer Huntley over Lance. Sit one, Devontae Adams or Justin Jefferson. You're sitting Justin Jefferson. Oh, okay,
No,
wait.
Keenan Allen.
Or
Keenan
AB.
Allen.
I'm sitting Justin Jefferson.
Oh,
I'm sitting Keenan Allen.
I'm sitting Keenan Allen. I mean, all Jefferson needs is just one catch, 60 yards.
It's hard to. I mean, to get all this way riding Jefferson and then bench him for the championship game is hard to do if you're like that person.
Not when it's Sean Mannion, quarterback.
That's true. The quarterback thing is a real. He has to throw it to someone, though. He's not going to throw it to no one, but what if it's Cook?
Most of you guys are sitting Keenan, though.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon, Jared Patton, Boston Scott on the bench. Yeah, you can keep them there. Paul, the 3-pump god in good company here. Amari Cooper or Mike Williams. That's going to be Amari Cooper for me.
Amari Cooper.
Dude, the squeaky wheel got the grease too.
Yes, he did.
I'd still go Cooper, but that's harder.
Cooper, OBJ, or Evans. Pick one.
I'm still on Amari there.
Amari Cooper.
But it got closer.
I mean, it's close with OBJ, but I'm still going to go Amari Cooper.
Kev, Penny or Devontae?
Penny.
Yep.
Will we start Brady if AB doesn't play? Depends on your other options, Tyler, but we're fine with Brady if AB doesn't play. Gage or Parker and a half PPR for Jerry. That is going to be Parker for me.
Yeah,
Russell Gage.
I played Parker, but that's scary. He got no targets. That's like, what the fuck was that? Like 0 targets. That's rough.
In game script, not a great matchup either. I think both those things are different this week. Mike Will or Amari Cooper. That's going to be Amari Cooper. Already got that so live.
Yeah.
Carter, Scott, Howard, or J. Pat and a half PPR.
Carter.
Carter.
Saints or Philly. That's Philly for me.
Yep.
But close.
Yeah.
Mixon and Cook, AJB, Devontae Adams always start. Sony or Swift at the flex. That's Sony for me.
Really?
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, Swift.
I'm with Sony on that one.
Not helpful. We're not being helpful.
2-3. We are outrolled. Boston and Jordan Howard. Would you stack in a deep league?
No.
I mean, not if I didn't have to.
If you have other options, then.
I mean, you could. I mean, it just really depends on. I mean, if you don't have any other options,
it also depends on how deep the league is too.
I mean,
we've seen them kind of split touches a little bit in years past with this, and so or not years past, but a few other games this year when Miles Sanders was out. So I mean, you could realistically see, especially with playing Washington, where Jordan Howard or Boston Scott gets 15 carries and then the other one gets 10 or whatever.
But aren't you going to want to throw again?
If you're talking about, but clearly, I mean, he's not giving us. We're not really having any other options here to go from. So, can you? Yes, this would be not a bad spot to do it with. Obviously, they're not sexy names, but I think you could do it if you have to do it.
If you have like a great RB1.
I prioritize Boston over Howard if you do ultimately choose one of them, but. Yeah.
My guess is Howard's the 1-2 and Scott's the passing down back. But they do like to use Scott at the goal line. They like to hide him behind like linemen and run in.
Yeah, I mean we've seen both those guys get double-digit carries in games before, so I'm not necessarily worried about that, especially in the matchup going up against Washington, who's just been getting decimated by the run over the last couple of weeks. Pick one of the flex, Cooks or Eli. Full PPR for Jasper.
I mean, Mitchell could play this week.
It's Brandon Cooks.
Kev.
I'm gonna go Cooks.
If we get news that Eli is going to be getting the bulk of the carries, I'm going Eli. But if it's any sort of, we're not sure or it looks like it's going to be a split or anything like that, then I will go Cooks. But as long as Eli is getting his full complement, I'm going to go Eli there.
You figure Cooks gets at least 9 targets.
Oh, I think he gets double-digit targets.
Yeah, I mean, at least 9, yeah.
B-flat soul sacks. Wide receivers Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks, Devonta Smith. Bench 1.
Tyler Lockett.
I'm benching
Smith.
Lockett or Smith.
Yeah, Smith.
I'm going to bench Smith.
I'm benching Lockett. It's similar because the Seahawks and the Eagles are two teams that are just going to run the football all game.
Yeah. If it was DK, but I think Lockett, I'd take Lockett over Smith.
Then we need to bench 2 of his running backs, Harris, Mixon, Rojo, Connor, Carter.
I'm benching the last 2.
The last 2 for me as well. P. Singh, Amon-Ra or Zeke in a full PPR?
Zeke.
I mean, I go Zeke, but you guys love St. Brown. You pick him over deep.
Cody loves him.
For good
I'm
reason.
going Zeke here.
I mean, he has been getting targets. I get it.
Zeke looks better. He does. I'd have to go Zeke, but
the Cardinals lately have not been good against the run. So they've not been good against the run lately. And I'll take the guy that's going to be in the game who could potentially be a huge shootout.
which is St. Brown.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, where do you sit with
I
this one?
don't
I would
expect.
take Zeke.
I do not expect this Lions.
I think it's close between these the two
Yeah.
options. I probably go Zeke.
If like Pollard was taking touchdowns, I might not, but Zeke gets every single close carries. He's kind
Higby or Foster Moreau. I'm going to go Foster here for Matt.
agree.
All
Agreed.
nodding in agreement. Perry Williams, Pitts or Goddard?
Got
I'm
it.
gonna go Pitts.
Goddard.
got it.
That is Pitts for me as well, Kev. Wide receiver 2, Pittman, DJ Moore, or Van Jeff. That is Pittman.
DJ Moore.
Not Van Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Pittman or Moore, but I'm going to
Whichever one you want of the other two.
Kev, where are you at on that one?
I'm gonna go DJ Moore.
It's the same.
Eagles or Bears D? I'm going Eagles.
Eggs.
DJ Moore has torched the Saints his entire career.
It was Damian Harris on that running back question earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Edmonds or Rojo, PPR?
I go
Chase.
Rojo, unless Connor sits.
If Connor sits, it's Chase Edmonds.
I don't think Connor's sitting. So.
I think
I kind of like Edmonds regardless.
Nah, not regardless. Come on, man. How are you so low on Rojo? He's going to get 20 carries. I mean,
He got 20 carries last week and he only had 65 yards.
I will tell you this. Rojo is the bane of my existence. I fucking hate Rojo.
but that's biased. That's not like the best decision. That's biased.
I mean, in PPR, I'll take the running back that can catch 8 passes.
I'm
That's not
just-
Rojo.
I'm just going to play Rojo in all of my DFS tomorrow, and I'm going to intentionally tank this motherfucker. Like, I'm going to bring him down to the ground. Like,
I mean, if Connor sits, it's completely different. But if Connor's there, you have to go Rojo.
No, I mean, even if Connor plays, he's going to be limited.
I know, but he's going to get the touchdowns.
Mm.
yeah, that's one too where like just you're gonna have a little bit clearer of an assessment as we get closer to game time with the inactives and everything too, because like there's so many moving parts and variables with this decision like not just Connor, the other pass catchers. Like if Evans and AB are playing, you do potentially risk losing some of that touchdown upside from a guy like Rojo.
Especially
what I mean?
Evans. Especially
And so it's just like, I mean, in a vacuum right here, I take Edmonds like barely, but if Evans is out and AB's like kind of limited and whatnot, like I can see the upside case for Rojo.
I slightly lean Rojo.
And I still think
that
Chase
one.
Edmonds has the higher upside.
In PPR,
if Connors
I
misses, sure, for sure.
But even if he does, though, but I think, if you look earlier in the year with Chase Edmonds was the lead back. I mean, he was handling 60 to almost 70% of the snaps in this backfield prior to Chase Edmonds going down with an injury. Now you're dealing with James Conner, who's banged up. They've already locked up a playoff spot. There's not really much they can gain. They could move up a little bit, I guess, in playoff seeding, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot there for them to play on him to risk, losing James Conner, for an extended period of time. And so I think you see Chase Edmonds probably get most of the opportunities. He's going to get all the pass catching work. That's what was happening prior to
he'll definitely
before the injury. And so, I mean, they've said James Conner is a game time decision. That doesn't fare well with how well this guy's going to look or play. And with this game script going against Dallas, I think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot, and so that's why I think Chase Edmonds is a great play at PPR.
Yeah. Especially with Dallas being able to pressure the quarterback so well, that could force a lot of dump offs to Chase Edmonds.
I just fear
Edmonds isn't a dump off running back though. He's normally like running routes. He's not a.
He goes out like
a screen outlet kind of back.
Yeah, I guess.
But Connor was catching shit awesome too. So it's like
because Chase Edmonds was injured.
Yeah,
if we're putting Eli into the mix here for Kaj for KAJ, are we still split amongst Rojo and Edmonds?
It's still going to be Chase Edmonds for me.
I would still go Rojo, but then like injuries matter.
I can't play Elijah Mitchell banged up.
Over to Matt B. Need 3 in a full PPR here. Evans, Deontay, Mike Williams, Jacob Scott, Damian Harris.
Deontay, Harris, Jacobs.
I'm
not playing Evans.
Deontay.
If Evans is active,
yes.
With this group,
it would be
Deontay,
Mike Evans.
I'm playing Evans.
I'm not sitting Mike Evans where he could go off for 150 and 2 tutties against the Jets.
I think he can go off for touchdowns, but I don't think he's going to get the yards because I don't think they're going to have him running deep routes.
I'm not sitting Mike Evans for
because of the hamstring.
But if he's
that
active.
Bad, there's no way that makes no sense. They're not going to play him.
I think he's only going to play the red zone.
You can pull a hamstring whether you're running a 5-yard route or you're running a go route. Like there's no way that somebody's going to be limited. They're not going to not use him the way that they would typically utilize him. And so if he's out there and he is active, he is going. Then you can expect him to play his full allotment of snaps and everything else.
Yeah, if Evans plays, I'm playing him. Like I'm not benching Mike Evans for Boston Scott.
We're playing 3 here. So it's going to be the first 3.
I would play the 3 receivers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be the first 3, and then if Evans doesn't play,
I would take Harris over Williams.
If Evans doesn't play, I'm going to go Josh Jacobs.
I don't want to play
Jacobs could be in play right there too. Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to play Scott or Mike Williams.
I mean, Josh Jacobs. Among all these 3 guys, Josh Jacobs, he's going to get 20 touches, 15 to 20 touches.
Yeah,
I'm putting Josh Jacobs over those running backs for sure.
And Jacobs will get the goal line. He always has.
Josh Jacobs had 27 carries last week.
Correct, and he He's seeing a lot more targets. Really, I mean, we'd be having it. I mean, had he been able, I mean, he hasn't found the end zone the last 3 weeks, but he's still scored double-digit fantasy points in each of the last 3 weeks. Had 124 total yards last week, 94 the week before that. Like, he's been getting there against pretty good defenses as well. And so, I'm going Jacobs. It would be Evans, Deontay, and Josh Jacobs for me. Would be the
I can't play Williams.
Damian Harris is tough, and I feel like he can come back to bite me in the ass to not play him because like that upside's there. The Jaguars have earlier in the year were much better against the run. That has not been the case over the last really month and a half, and so Damian Harris does worry me. But with Ramondre Stevenson being back, that's what I feel like they are going to split touches and cannibalize each other a little bit. And Damian Harris isn't really involved in the passing game. They're not really going to need to utilize it in the passing game either. And so I just think it makes them a little bit tougher comparatively to a guy like Josh Jacobs, who is going to see all of the work.
Full PPR here for Raja. Need 3. DK, Justin Jefferson, Rojo, Amon-Ra, Waddle, and CPAT.
Waddle
for
Yeah,
sure.
locking in Waddle.
Rojo, for me, it's it.
I'm taking Rojo over CPAT for sure too. Like Cordell.
Waddle Rojo for sure for me.
Yes.
That's the thing.
I'm playing Justin Jefferson.
I'll probably play Justin Jefferson. I'm not
Justin
playing
Jefferson.
DK, but St. Brown is. But I mean, how do you sit Justin Jefferson for St. Brown? I mean,
it's Waddle, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown for me.
It's Waddle, Justin Jefferson, and Rojo.
yeah, that's who I would have. Probably.
Waddle, Rojo, and St. Brown for me.
I can't do it.
God, how far we.
I can't. I just cannot sit Justin Jefferson. I get it. The quarterback situation is not great, but he is going to see a lot of targets. They're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah.
I get it. There may not be high quality targets, but it's very possible we look back and he has 20 targets after tomorrow night. They have no Adam Thielen, and they're going to fall behind. And I cannot sit somebody like Justin Jefferson who could still go out, even if it's garbage time. We don't care about that, whether it's garbage time or not. That he has such an immense upside. I am not sitting him when they have nobody else to throw the ball to, and they are not going to be able to run the ball whenever they're trailing. And so Justin Jefferson is going to see a ton of targets, and I cannot sit him. I would feel like such a donkey if I sat Justin Jefferson in the championship and he goes out and scores 25-30.
Yeah, because I think with Jefferson it could be similar to Tyler Huntley and Mark Andrews when Huntley started for the first time when Lamar got hurt.
But we're all sitting CPAT and DK.
Yes.
Right? For that guy.
Kev, how dare you besmirch Chris Herndon in this game? For Grotto, Barkley, Penny, or Dylan, pick one. This is going to be Penny for me.
Yeah,
Penny.
for sure.
Another Cooper or Mike Williams question. This one coming from Rodrigo. We are Amari Cooper across the board on that one. Aaron Jones, Rojo, Edmonds, Eli in a PPR. Now we're adding another name to the mix here with Aaron Jones.
This is Aaron Jones.
What are they saying to do?
So we just need to pick one.
Pick one?
Yeah, it's Aaron Jones. I can't sit Aaron Jones.
I'd still go Rojo, but I got you. Yeah, Aaron Jones is. I'm just worried about Dylan, but Aaron Jones is a good play.
Kev, where are you at on this one?
Aaron Jones.
This one for Salim, D-Will, Zeke, or CPAT.
I'd play Williams, but it's not by a lot. I definitely don't play Patterson.
Zeke.
Yeah, I take Zeke.
Yeah.
Clay, appreciate you rocking with us. How are we feeling about the new DeAndre Swift reports? I'll be honest, I'm a bit behind on all the news. I've not been doing a lot of digging over the past couple of days. The last thing I saw was was Coach Kneecap talking about that DeAndre Swift and how good and explosive he looks. Has anybody heard anything else?
It's all been like, we're going to use Swift. That's all I keep hearing.
He's a full go, so he's not going to be limited or whatever. He's going to get the regular workload that he gets, and he was
I think
getting
they
before.
want to see him, so they're going to play him.
He's going to get the same workload he was getting before injury. So against Seattle, who has been atrocious all season long.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle is also dead last in the NFL in time of possession, so the Lions are going to have the football for a long time.
Brady or Burrow for our guy Tyler?
Brady. But
I'm
close.
Burrow.
Closer than you would think it would be, but
Yeah, still Brady, but closer than it should be. Flex spot for live creation: Javonte Williams, Mike Evans, or Sony.
Sony Michel.
I wouldn't play Mike Evans.
It's close, but I'm going to go with Sony here.
Yeah, Sony, Evans, and then Javonte for me is how I would rank
I'm
them.
living or dying by Sony Michel tomorrow.
I'd be Sony, Javonte, Evans.
Are you playing Sony Michel in DFS?
You're damn right, man.
He's 5,800.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean,
Anybody want to give some projections for Justin, Rojo, Tyreek, Debo, Monty, AB?
I mean,
I see double-digit PPR points for all of them.
yeah.
what you guys said? You're all fading Debo.
Debo would be last for me out of that group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody said we're fading Debo Samuels. It was in the context of the question that was being asked, but nobody said we're fading Debo.
Well, you're picking St. Brown.
I mean, it's tough to really project anything for Tyreek.
No.
Tyreek could go for 40, and Tyreek could go for 40, or he can just go for 7.
Yeah,
I think Tyreek and Kelsey tomorrow just fucking smash.
yeah. I'm not too worried about Tyreek. I don't think he's gonna have 2 duds in a row.
I think Montgomery is a smash. this
Yeah.
week.
Yes.
That was my
like
first
the-
choice of all of them, honestly.
Like the spot that Monty's in as well.
Yeah, like Monty has like mid-20 upside PPR points. Like he could absolutely blow up tomorrow.
Eagles, Bear, Dolphins, D for Jasper. This one's going to be Eagles for me.
Yep.
I think
Bears
we're all pretty much Eagles with a smattering of Bears. Ash Dobbs, full PPR, need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Let's start with the running backs here. Aaron Jones, Rojo, Sony, Javonte, and Penny. Need 2 out of that group.
Aaron Jones and Sony.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, Jones and Sony for me as well. Cav, where you at?
You would think
Really?
Aaron
want to
Jones.
play
I'm
Penny?
gonna go Aaron Jones
He wants to say
and
Penny so bad.
Sony.
he wanted to say bang.
He wanted to say Penny.
Diggs, Chase, AB, St. Brown for the wide receivers.
Diggs and AB.
Diggs and AB, and then I'm going to put Penny in the flex.
Diggs and AB, and I'm going to put Jamar Chase in the flex.
Cav, where you got in the
it's full
flex?
PPR. I would like to play AB in full PPR if he's healthy. But
Well, I think we all agree for Diggs and AB at wide receiver. So at the flex,
Yeah.
So at the flex, it's St. Brown, Chase, or Penny, basically. Maybe
Only
or
with Chase.
Rojo, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean at that point, are you playing for floor or are you playing for upside? You know,
Yeah,
if you're
that's
playing
why-
for floor right there, I take Penny.
Yeah.
If I'm playing for upside, I'm probably going Chase in the shootout.
it's hard to sit Chase, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I take
How
Dylan.
much-
AJ Dillon or Boston Scott?
Dylan.
These teams are better than all mine that made it to the championship.
So this is for live creation in the flex spot. We're not starting any of these guys over Javonte, Evans, or Sony.
Nope.
Nope.
Not even close.
For John, I'm not answering this question with that fucking shirt on.
What do you got against Arkansas?
They beat Penn State today. Is what I have against them. Jacobs or Edmonds.
Did you see the fake punt?
I mean, if Connor sits Edmonds, not Jake.
Look, I don't know what that punt was, what that play call was, but
Because Franklin is a fucking donkey, is what it is. He's a great recruiter, but as a coach, he's a fucking jackass.
It kind of looks like the Iron Pigs pick.
anyways, it's gonna be Chase Edmonds if Connor sits.
Yes, and it's going to be
Yes,
Evans
John.
for me regardless.
And come back in with the heat. Beat them bad, too. Let them know, John.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah, if Connor sits, then Edmonds for sure. I actually, man, this one's close. Like, and I'm pretty big on Edmonds, like his upside, especially in PPR. But like Jacobs, we have talked a little bit about him. Like Jacobs is a fucking beast right now. Like he is a focal point of that offense. Like I would probably
He always
lean
has
Jacobs a little more.
I would say if Connor sits, Jacob.
Yes, if Connor sits for sure, I'd take Edmonds. But like, if Connor plays, I'm taking Jacobs in that situation.
Well, I'll say this.
That's what I would do.
I'll play Edmonds if it's PPR.
It didn't matter to me
I
because
think I
Jacobs
take
has been
Jacobs
heavily
even in
involved in the
PPR.
passing game too. It's if James Conner is out, I
Right.
would go Chase Edmonds, but it still would be close between him and Jacobs. But I would go Jacobs in the event that Connor plays for sure.
That's where I'm at. Depending on Connor, I would go with the one or the other.
And then at wide receiver, it's DJ Moore.
here.
Yeah.
Though I do love Michael Gallup this week.
Yeah,
Love?
But this one that was Zeke for us. P. Singh. Need one wide receiver here for Garrett between AJ Green, Terry McLaurin, Van Jeff, KJ Osborne, and Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis isn't playing, right? He's still on the coach. Oh wait, no.
No,
Or
he's
they
actually-
No, yeah, he's
have
back.
the 5-day
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yep. He's
So
back.
not Gabe Davis.
This would probably be Terry, but I don't want to play anyone. I don't honestly.
If Gabe Davis is in, which I'm guessing he should be, I'm taking him over all of them. That dude, he has been absolutely blowing up lately, and like he's starting to prove some of the dynasty people a little bit right. Like coming into the season, a lot of people were high on him. Like,
I mean, the games that Gabe Davis went off, I mean, they had injuries to other ones.
Yeah,
Well,
it was guys
no
out. That's
Manning.
my problem. If
Sanders
Emmanuel
needs
Sanders
to
out,
sit.
if
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders is out, I think it changes some things.
Yeah.
Of how you look at him.
But Beasley's back as well.
Yeah, Beasley's back. Sanders is back.
I care less about Beasley than Sanders in terms of Davis.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go AJ Green.
Going Green as well.
I take Terry over Green, but
I can't play Terry McLaurin.
I don't want to play Terry, but I don't want to play AJ Green.
Over this group, I'm going Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Van Jeff would be second for me.
Yeah, same. It's
Yeah,
gonna be-
Over Davis, who are you picking first? Green?
AJ Green, yeah.
same.
I mean, KJ Osborne and Van Jeff, they're not even in the discussion on that one. Like,
I'm not playing Osborne for sure now. I'm not playing Osborne. But.
Yeah.
Zeke or D. Will for the Bums in a standard league.
Zeke.
In standard, I go Zeke.
In
MBS
standard, for
or
sure.
Mike Williams in a PBR. Oh, this is interesting. I have Herbert. Opponent has A-Rod.
I mean,
Probably.
if you have Herbert, I'll go Mike Williams.
I'm just going to call out the one fallacy here. Don't ever worry about what your opponent has. Play
Correct.
your best players.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
do not ever think like the offsetting. Like, just play your guy. I mean, like,
Play whoever will give you the most points.
yes, correct.
That's it.
But I take MVS a little bit here, I think.
But you could say if you're playing like 4 people from one team, that's a problem. But yeah, play whoever.
But not based off your
Yeah.
opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, MVS for me. Kev?
I'm going Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'll go Williams because he has Herbert. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if Herbert goes on,
I'm not in love with playing with him.
Philly
Just so
or
you know,
the
I just got a notification. I got a notification on almost everything. Elijah Mitchell is playing tomorrow.
Okay. That makes Jeff Wilson pretty useless.
Philly or Ramsey. It's going to be Philly for me.
Yeah.
Clay has the full lineup here. Benches Amon-Ra, Sony, Patty Fry. Any changes there to the starting lineup?
just real quick, Mike Evans is expected to play in a limited capacity.
I would play Muth over Foster.
So Mike Evans is going to play, but he's going to be limited.
I don't know what the hell that means. I really,
what
you know
is
what
it?
they said last week? They said Antonio Brown was going to be limited last week too, and he saw 15 targets. I don't give a shit when they say people are going to be limited.
Yeah, and then Julio Jones had a hamstring, and he caught 1 for 6 yards. Like, that's the other thing that can happen.
Evan Shefty reported that, so I don't know.
He will still be in the red zone, though. Like, Evans.
Let's say they say he's playing 30 snaps, right? Let's say he's 30 snaps. They're all pass catching snaps, anyways.
Yep.
And so if he plays 20 snaps, okay, cool. They're all going to be passing snaps, right? And so I don't really care about that. It just doesn't matter when it comes to wide receivers. If it's it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well,
remember when Kittle was going to be limited?
Oh
he
yes.
came back.
Or again, the same one I've always talked about. It was Jordan Reed, who they were like, Jordan Reed's only going to play like whenever he was with the 49ers. And Shanahan was like, he's only going to play like 10% of snaps. And so everybody freaked out because he was the only tight end they were having. I think he was like bare nut minimum on DK. And he played the entire game and just went off while everybody just tilted their face off.
It was something. It was the same thing. I think it was week 1. Was it week 1 when they said that Jamal Williams was going to be the lead back and Swift was going to be limited?
Yeah, but Jamal Williams got a lot of touches week 1, and then it faded away to nothing.
All right, for Clay's question,
he did good week 1.
I don't think I'm changing anything other than maybe putting Patty Fry over Foster.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not changing.
Yeah, but they're Foster and Patty Fry are close enough to Clay. If you want to stick with Foster, you can. I think we prefer Patty Fry though. Brady or Lance?
Brady.
Okay, yeah. That's good that your opponent had. That means every time they get a point, you're getting like 4 to every 6 or whatever. You're like 4 to 10.
Anybody care to answer a kicker question?
I'd go Harrison Butker.
Harrison Butker in the shootout.
Who to bench here for TX416 between Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, CD, or Deontay in a half PPR?
I bench Jefferson.
I'm benching Deontay Johnson.
I'm not benching Deontay.
I'm benching Jefferson in this group.
I think Ben throws the
I can't sit Jefferson, man.
I can't sit Deontay. Certainly not.
I mean, like,
Kev, where are you at?
With it being a halfway PPR, I'm going to sit Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
like,
even if
Deontay, like,
Geraldi, where are you at with this one?
Like Kevin said, like about the JJ thing, it's like he is going to get peppered all game with targets, and you don't get penalized for Mannion's fuck ups. Like, he can throw 7 picks. He can get sacked 20 times. It doesn't matter. Like, Justin Jefferson doesn't get negative points for that, and they're gonna have to pass a ton. And this is one of those situations too where, again, like, maybe I'm erring on the side of caution too much, but that whole, like, if I can play Justin Jefferson for sure and get what he's gonna output this week and not have to worry about some bullshit positive COVID test for Johnson, or all of a sudden the Steelers offensive lineman or something gets out. Like, I'm probably benching Deontay in this situation.
Brady or we already got that one. For Logan and a half PPR, tight end and a defense, Moreau or Gerald Everett. I'm going to go Foster Moreau there.
Moreau and Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Green Bay for the defense. Another defense question here. This one for B flat. Bears or Niners?
Bears.
Burrow or Kyler?
Kyler.
Burrow.
Burrow.
This is going to be Kyler for me.
And Swift by a lot.
Yes.
And then Swift in the flex.
And Hollywood
But like
might
a
not
lot.
play.
A lot. I would play Swift.
I know Hollywood is questionable as well. So I
Yes.
don't know if he's gonna play.
For Tony B, Cooper or St. Brown or Pittman in the flex in a full PPR. This is Cooper for me.
I'm Mari Cooper.
Yes.
William, I hope you only have one.
I don't think I can drink 12 beers at this age. I used to be able to, but I'll be rough the next day.
No. It was nice waking up on New Year's with no hangover and feeling pretty good. The Guru's podcast, super important week, struggling at quarterback and flex. Dak, Burrow, Huntley. I'm gonna go Dak there.
I'll go Dak, yeah.
Eli, D. Will, or Michael Carter.
Now I'll go Williams, but I get everyone else is gonna say Mitchell.
I will rank Darrell Williams right now ahead of Eli, but again, and it's pretty much confirmed that Eli's playing. But just give me that, safety net confirmation tomorrow that Eli's playing. And
Yeah, I would go Eli here.
Yeah, I lean Eli as well. Damian Harris or Aaron Jones, full PPR. That is going to be Aaron Jones, I'm assuming, across the board.
Yep.
Antonio, pick 2 in a standard. AJB, AB, Waddle, and ASB.
AJ Brown and Jalen Waddle.
Yep. With Antonio Brown and Waddle being close, but I'm playing AJ Brown.
I'm just gonna play
It's AJ Brown and Antonio Brown for me in a standard.
yeah, if this was
Close.
PPR, I think there's a little bit more case for Waddle. I think I go the ABs in standard.
It's closer than you would have thought early in the year.
Dude, it's closer than it would have been 2 weeks ago, man. It's wild.
Waddle has 1 touchdown on the year.
That's
Or
the
wait,
problem.
sorry. He has 1. He has 6. He has 1 rushing touchdown, 5 receivers.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
Yeah, that didn't matter, but
Didn't he score 2 last week?
I mean, he's gonna get 12 targets minimum. He just gets targeted.
It's the first 2 for me. Kev, where you at?
I'm gonna go AJ Brown and Waddle.
Coward.
That's the safest play.
Didn't you have AB as a top 5
AB is good.
guy this week?
Waddle's
Kev?
great. too.
He's banged up.
Yeah. If AB was healthy, I'd have AB over Waddle.
Mitchell, Edmonds, Michelle, and the flex and a PPR from Mike.
Sony Michelle.
Yep.
Unless Connor doesn't play, then I go Evans. But.
I would go Michelle regardless.
Yep.
I mean, so with Sony Michel, that's one thing I want to say that does make me nervous is this matchup is not good. I mean, the Ravens have
Not a
been
great
really
matchup.
good against the run. Where he comes in and where you get a little more excited about it is just the simple fact that he is going to be the offense. Or the rushing offense. He is going to see all the opportunities, and obviously, opportunity always wins out, right? But the one thing that makes me nervous about Sony Michel is, do we see something where they just do not run the ball and they just throw the entire game, right? Because they are a complete pass funnel. Even if they do run, I don't know how successful they're going to be because, again, we've continued to see that this offense, even last time, we look at last week. Last week, Joe Mixon, 65 rushing yards on 17 carries. Like, this team has been so good at stopping the run this year. That's what worries me about Sony Michel, is that he gets 18 carries but gets 80 yards, and if he doesn't find the end zone,
Right.
we're going to be in trouble. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. But he is going to get all the opportunities, and that's what makes him much more of an attractive option over a lot of these guys. It's because he has guaranteed bankable touches that you're going to be able to count.
And see, that was I was going to say the same regarding the Mixon line. Is I can see an output like Mixon, like Najee Harris, like a few of those guys had against against Baltimore. He's going to probably get 12 to 15 rushing attempts. But if he can get some of that pass work, like if Sony Michel can catch 4 or 5 balls out of the backfield this week, like that's where I'm seeing, or at least I think that he should have some of that like PPR upside. Because like you said, he's going to be, at least in terms of running backs for them, the only option. Like Cam Akers is not playing, and even if he's active, he's not playing. Like
Cam Akers is not playing.
You're not risking a player of that magnitude.
5 months out of an Achilles.
Yeah, like I don't know what they're thinking. Like
They want to get him his pension. That's all.
Sure.
They can't be like, he's not going to play. We just have him on the roster. So they say he's going to play, and then he doesn't play. Then they say he's going to play. He might play in the playoffs, but he ain't playing in the regular season.
Yeah.
Kev, where were you at on this one?
I mean, I would
seems like Clay is with you.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing for floor here, you're probably going to play Sony Michel. Like
I don't think you should be playing for floor though, especially in the championship.
Correct.
I mean, so many things can go wrong.
Yep.
So
it does not sound like that Cam Akers is going to play this week.
No.
Sean McVay, I think, said yesterday that the target always has been Week 18 or the playoffs for Cam Akers.
Yeah, he was never going to play.
Even though like 3 days earlier he said it was looking good.
Cam Akers keeps saying it's looking good, but that's his.
Well, he's practicing in full, but he hasn't played all year, so you're gonna have to get him in shape and get him into game shape and everything else. I mean, so I think there's a better chance that he probably plays next week. You give him some opportunities just to get him some work, because you don't want to just put him out there in a game, in the playoffs, something like that, where it actually matters.
Has anyone come back from an Achilles in less than 6 months ever in the history?
Terrell Suggs did. Terrell Suggs.
Yeah,
and he wrecked shop. But it's a little bit different.
But he's not a running back.
Yeah,
he's still a football player.
It seems like they're trying to get him his pension to me, but
so this one for me. If Connor's out, I'm going Edmonds. If he's not, I would go Mitchell. Kev.
I thought I already said, I would go Sony Michel here.
Yeah,
unless James Conner's out.
I'm super scared of Mitchell, but
we're going Penny over Harris, and if AB plays, are you guys putting Jamar over AB?
No. But I would play AB and Chase if we can. I would sit both running backs if possible.
I'm going to Uzoma here.
What'd you say, Kev?
I would have to go.
No offense.
I don't want to play either, but I would go Fat.
No offense.
They both
fan for me there, but that is closer than what it should be.
It is
Penny or Amon St. Brown here for Raja.
Penny.
Half I go Penny. Yeah. PPR maybe.
Swift or Penny for Jay Park.
Swift.
Yeah.
Jones or Edmonds if Connor's out.
Ooh, this is close.
If Connor's out, I'm going to go Chase Edmonds.
Yes.
Right. If not Jones, correct.
If it's not, it's Aaron Jones.
Yep, I agree.
Matt Wingo 89. Happy New Year to you, Lance or Huntley. I think we are Huntley across the board on that one. Metcalf or St. Brown.
St. Brown.
Fuck.
Cowboys.
Non-PPR?
Non-PPR, I'm going DK Metcalf.
Yeah, non-PPR, it has to be Metcalf, non-PPR.
Yeah, because you got the touchdown.
I don't want either of them non-PPR.
That's not the option, RC. You have to pick one.
All right.
Even the yards, I think Metcalf can get more yards than St. Brown, and half the reception St. Brown would have.
I mean, it's a touchdown upside only, basically, but okay.
And then Niners D for me as well.
Cowboys.
Justin Jefferson, would you choose AJB or AB?
AJB.
AJ Brown.
Hamid Patel needs to start 2. D. Will, Penny, or Swift?
Penny and Swift.
I agree.
Jefferson, Monty, Sun God, Debo, Rojo, or Mixon at the flex. Man, it looks like we just need one here for Justin.
What kind of team is that, Montgomery?
How?
What kind of team is that?
That's Monty for me.
I think Monty.
It's close. It's close between Monty and Mixon.
Nah, Monty.
I'm
gonna
not
go-
taking Mix
I'm gonna-
against the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Monty. Yeah.
DKM, wide receiver 2, Amon-Ra or Pittman?
Pittman.
Yes.
This is St. Brown.
Yeah, I'm good, St. Brown.
St. Brown. Then in the flex, we need one. Singletary, Edmonds, Connor, MVS. Or, I mean, I guess we could put Amon-Ra or Pittman here as well.
Edmonds.
So it's going to be,
If
again,
Connor's-
we say him. It's going to be Edmonds if Connor's out. If Connor plays, it's Devin Singletary.
That's exactly what I'm
Yep.
That's on.
Would you not play? Would you not play both receivers, or would you play
Over Singletary? Nah, I'll play Singletary.
You gotta play Singletary over Pittman.
Yes.
Yeah. Dak or Stafford for Rodney?
Stafford.
I take Dak.
I would take Dak, but that's super close.
Yes.
I like Stafford against this.
Kev, I'm getting
That's super close.
some of the comments blocked again. Same it was on Wednesday, whenever that was, Wednesday. For me, it goes from this question to crazies. 12:57. So in a standard for Gabe, Mahomes, Chubb, Monty, Amon-Ra, Lockett, Andrews, Evans, Zerline, Cowboys, D, Gabe, MVS, Pringle, other flex choices.
If you jump to crazy, you only miss one question. Dari, Vaughn, or Howard.
So what's the question?
So are we plugging in any of these other flex choices for Gabe?
No.
Yeah, keep it as is.
Yep.
I would play MVS over Gabriel.
Ooh.
If
I don't think that's a
So
Sanders,
Gabe Davis is on the bench.
I would go Davis, but
yeah.
I
I
was
was
just-
assuming those were on
Yeah,
the
because
bench. I think Evans
Mike
is in the
Evans
flex.
is Mike Evans is in the flex.
Oh, then no, absolutely not. Yeah. Never
yeah,
mind.
right. But if Mike Evans has to sit, who do you play? Davis or
MVS.
I think MVS.
Mine would be if Sanders sit Davis. If Sanders doesn't sit, MVS.
Dare,
This is Dare.
Keyshawn, or Joho.
Ogunbowale.
Dare.
We're worried about the weather for the Seattle game. Want to start Amon St. Brown. Winds aren't looking the greatest.
I don't care about that.
No.
Good
not
chance
really.
for rain. Breezy with sustained winds around 15 miles an hour.
If it's under
That's
20,
not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
they can throw under 20.
Crazy. Who else? What are your other options? Let us know that, and we'll see if we can help you out there with anybody over in Monra. Have PPR for David. Pick 2. Eli, AB, Odell, Amonra.
AB and Odell.
I would go AB and Mitchell if he plays. But
Mitchell's playing. They've already said he's playing.
It's
Yeah, first
Eli,
two.
Eli, and AB for me.
Yes, agreed.
Harris or Rojo. There's going to be Rojo.
Yep.
What do we think of Lockett this week? Giraldi, what you got for Lockett?
I mean, it depends who else you have, but
I mean, he's got a great matchup. I just, the passing volume. But I mean, like, if there's one pass catcher for Seattle that I want this week, it is Tyler Lockett. Like, I mean, he should smash if they fucking let Russ cook. But
Very boomer bust. Very boomer bust.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the boom is certainly there.
the
I mean,
boom in this situation is like you're gonna get big bang, man.
Yeah.
and he's been less
Boom, boom,
bust
boom.
lately. He's been less bust lately. He's been
Yes.
getting targets.
I mean, Lockett could go for 12 for 202. That's the type of game he could have.
Well, Lito, can you drop the Discord link in the YouTube? Or I guess I can do it.
No, I got it.
You got it. B flat. There is a listeners league. Hit up the Discord if you want in for next year. Walito is going to drop that link in the chat. Discord is absolutely free. There's no strings attached, anything like that. We had one this year. We'll see. We had some more interest for a second league, so we'll have to see what happens next year. Also, potentially planning on a draft guide this year as well. And like I said a little bit earlier, we're going to have a bunch of dynasty content, NFL draft content as well. So make sure you guys are staying here. Hit us with that sub if you have not yet done so. Appreciate all you for rocking with us. Did not mean to skip that. Andrew, thank you for pulling this out. Scott or Freeman for the running back slots?
Scott.
I take Scott.
Yeah. It's going to be Boston Scott for me as well. Going back to James, T. Higgins, St. Brown, Ayuk, Jefferson, and Cooks. We need 3 for the chip.
Higgins, Jefferson, and Cooks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm removing Van Jefferson here for sure.
Oh, that's Van Jeff. Okay, I thought it was Justin.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sitting Ayuk and Van Jeff.
Yeah, okay, then
Yeah.
it's T. Higgins, St. Brown, and Cooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks, T. Higgins, St. Brown. Oh,
Willie Me coming in with some info as well because he can't be on the IR and qualify for the playoffs. Good pickup there from Dub E. 2 running backs and 1 flex and a PPR. Start with the running backs: D. Will, Edmonds, Penny, C-Pat, Jared, Pat. So I guess we need 3 of these.
Chase Edmonds, Rashad Penny, and Darrell Williams.
Taking the first 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Unless kind of yeah.
Lucius
Yeah.
coming through with the super chat. Appreciate that. Help me to the championship again. Love to see it. That's what we are here for. Only question this week is at the tight end: Hunter Henry or Patty Fry. That is going to be Patty Fry for me.
Yeah.
Touchdowns versus targets, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that.
Touchdowns.
Appreciate that, Lucius. I'm going to leave that one chill up here for a minute. Next question is from Rodney. And the flex: Penny, Eli, or Devonta Smith?
Penny.
Yeah, Penny or Eli.
Probably.
Yeah, not Devonta Smith is the,
No.
is the answer. Gonna give the edge to Penny, but take that with a grain of salt because I have not been right on Penny at any point this year.
I mean, if Mitchell was 100% healthy, it would be him, but Penny probably is.
Yeah, but we got to assume if Mitchell is playing that he's going to be fine. Rojo or Waddle? Here's an interesting one.
Waddle.
I mean, is it PPR or standard? Because standard, I go Rojo. PPR, I go Waddle. But Waddle.
Yeah, I assume most questions are PPR unless they specify at this point.
I think I would still go Waddle in standard.
Yeah.
Very close.
In half, I would go Waddle. Standard, I might go Rojo.
We need 2 here for Salim: Zeke, D-Will, Rojo, and C-Pat.
Zeke and Darrell Williams.
Yep.
Any of the first 3, I'm fine.
I would go Zeke and Rojo.
Just don't play C-Pat.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would go Zeke and Rojo.
AB expected play. Would you start him over Deontay Higgins and Renfro in a full PPR?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saquon, Mixon, Hunt, Sony start 2.
Mixon and Sony.
Yes.
Yep. Mixon and Sony for me as well. Goddard or Schultz?
Got it.
With Schultz.
Got it. He ate against Washington last time.
That was also with a different quarterback.
And all their defensive players on COVID. But
Yeah, no, not Schultz. I said Goddard, but I'm going to go Schultz.
if you want to get technical. But
Thoughts on Boyd and the flex? I like Boyd as a flex. Andrew, what other options do you have? But I think this could be a slightly better Boyd game just because I think that KC pass rush is just going to destroy Burrow. So I think we could see a little bit more Boyd sprinkled in. We have seen some bigger play upside from him as well. I think he has a couple 20, 30, 40-plus games touchdowns under his belt this year.
And KC plays the outside a lot better than the slot.
What do you think about J-Pat? Who would you start him over?
A lot of people.
The list of people would be longer than who I would not start him over, Jason. Do you have any particular names that you're thinking of? Let us know. That was a PPR question for Justin with the Rojo or Waddle question.
Okay, and then Waddle.
Waddle.
PPR for Hayden, MVS, Zay Jones, Boston Scott, Barrios, Dare, pick 2.
Dare?
Yeah, Dare and Scott.
Yeah, that's what I would pick. But
Dude, I need a drink.
I would go Dare
after
and
seeing
MVS.
that question, man.
What did you say, Kev?
I would go Dare and MVS.
any concern with MVS coming off
That's-
COVID?
I mean, all he needs is one catch and
Yeah.
70-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's the entirety for MVS is like he gets that one catch for 50 and a score or something, and he has done well against the Vikings, and the Vikings have also, they've given up those big plays in the passing game. Like this is a situation that just like if it was another opponent, I would probably be on Lazard again and probably chasing points like a fucking fish, but. Like MVS in this matchup, I think he does pretty well.
Yeah, I think if Rodgers has a choice, he'll throw to MVS over Lazard.
Yeah.
The Vikings have given up 52 receptions of 20-plus yards, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 most in the league.
But play the running backs.
I'm playing Boston Scott over Dare. And I don't
know, because Dare is probably going to get 20 carries. I mean, he stepped in right into the J.
I mean, Dare really needs a touchdown. He's not going to do it with yards.
That's what I fear is I could see Boston Scott getting into the end zone. I don't know if Dare does, and that extra 6 points, I mean, that probably makes up the rushing yard differential between the two.
Yeah, I guess.
But is Howard getting the red zone touches? They seem to be splitting them pretty evenly.
He's also going to see a lot of targets, too. I mean, because there's nobody else there. Carlos Hyde's on IR as well. Obviously, James Robinson's out. Like he played 84% of the snaps last week, and that was a little bit more competitive game against the Jets. This week it's going to be a little bit different against the Patriots, but I still think that he could see a lot of targets. He saw 4 last week, ran 29 routes, which I absolutely love to see, and so that's why I would lean Dare because this is going to be his entire backfield. So
I sit Jefferson on this one. I think it's fine. Sit Jefferson.
Monty Rojo Swift.
Anyway. Why are you dropping people?
I'm assuming he means sit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you can drop
Jefferson,
people
AB,
now.
AJ.
Yeah, I was actually meaning to say that in an overall generalized term. If you've set on your lineup this week, or if you have people fucking drop their ass and pick up the defenses or whatever.
I know, but with COVID, it's
True.
the last minute they're gonna take people out or something. I'm scared now. I usually do that, but
I mean they determine the inactives for COVID though well in advance, right? That's not
usually at least a day.
Do a half hour before game.
No,
right?
we have seen some players get ruled out on game day, and so I don't know if that's under the new testing. I don't know. The new testing is so confusing.
I think they can take tests. like right up to the game. As long as they get a positive, they're allowed to play if they're unvaccinated. So you could see it, but I don't think anyone else has. Has anyone like not been okayed by Saturday and played on Sunday? Because I can't think of anyone.
They've had a few on game because like the Tennessee Niners Thursday night game like last week had, I thought, like some late edition ones that like were that day. It's just I don't remember the timeline on that, like whether or not it was post or pre inactive report, because inactives come out an hour and a half before kickoff. So I mean, like,
Right.
you know, in your morning games or early afternoon games, you know, like once that comes out and everything's finalized, like,
Drop people. Drop
exactly,
everyone
like,
for Monday people. Just so your other person can't pick up Monday people. Like whoever's playing on Monday, just drop people for them. If they play, like if they're a 1 o'clock game at 1:01, drop them for Monday people.
Pick up Benny Snell. You know,
pick up anybody, like just so that other people can't pick them up.
Yeah,
because they could have COVID too before Monday. You know, like especially if they're playing Monday people. Like someone's
I would
playing.
say this: if I had Najee Harris, I would absolutely pick up Benny Snell. Just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, same with like Deontay. You know, it's like those Ray McLeod guys. Like you don't want them on the roster,
right?
But just in case, like
once the person plays,
if you have
you're not hurting anything.
I guess I mean if you like, or if you're starting Freiermuth, maybe pick up Zach Gentry or one of the I mean it's tough,
right? Yeah. But at that point, if they've already played, who cares? Just pick them up.
You don't have a choice. I mean, so if you're waiting until Thursday and all of a sudden Freiermuth gets put on, you don't have a choice. I mean that's who you're going to have to pick up. But
so if we're sitting one of these six, who are we sitting?
I would sit Rojo.
Yeah, I'm sitting Rojo
over Jefferson. Really? You guys are so confusing. Rojo seems like
I'll play Justin Jefferson over Rojo any day.
Well, typically, yeah, but backup quarterback versus
doesn't matter.
100% of the snaps. I don't know.
He's gonna get 15 targets at like.
I don't mind Justin Jefferson. I just think of those people,
it's closer than it should be, man.
That's a good game. That's a good team, man.
Oh my god! I just realized Kev's name is Josh Gordon season.
I know it's been like that all year since the Chiefs signed him, and I've never changed it because we don't ever use them. So
we never use these. Well, in true TFA fashion, it is now almost 1:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. Not much time left for me. You guys can do whatever you want. But,
hey, we reached the 3-hour mark.
East Coast.
Any parting free for all, since this was supposed to be a free for all show? Maybe we can do maybe we can do another one during like the playoffs or something. This was meant to be just to shoot the shit and get to chop it up with all of you, but the chat was going bonkers tonight, so that did not leave a lot of time.
I thought more people were going to join. I don't know. This seems fun.
Yeah, we really didn't push it all that much with as many questions as we were getting. Have you guys been like, I don't know, like watching anything cool, like any kind of new music, like anything you guys have like been into?
Did you see the new Matrix?
Oh, don't get me fucking started on that.
Okay, it wasn't that great.
I didn't mind like 85% of that movie, but. And I'm not one of those spoiler people, but fuck the ending of that movie.
Have you seen the new Spider-Man?
No, I want to.
It's amazing.
Is that on streaming yet, or do you have to get to the theaters? Because I really don't go to the theaters.
It's not on streaming anywhere.
It's on theaters.
It's only in theaters.
The theaters, but it was cool. It was cool that they brought all three of them back.
I think this one's going to be Pittman for us. Pittman for us across the board on this one, grind aside.
Yep.
Yeah. Hollywood. What happened to him, man?
Yeah, I'm excited for what's coming in for Marvel. There's the Doctor Strange 2 movie coming out as well in May.
Is the word at all about like a new Avengers, right?
Yeah, I think they're 2023, I believe.
Did that Boba Fett show come out yet?
Did what?
Yes.
The Boba
I
Fett
think
show?
it dropped like earlier this week.
Can I stream it, or are they doing the one episode at a time thing?
I think it's one at a time.
Yeah, it's on.
Still, it's pretty cool they're doing a Boba Fett show.
I did just watch the Cobra Kai. That was good.
That was
I binged the shit out of it today.
It's
Except
just one of those
for,
shows it seems like because sometimes there's some cheesy points of it and stuff like that, but like overall it's still just a really good show. Like I don't know, it's better than it should be. I feel like that's the best way I can describe it.
It's all Ralph Macchio being cheesy. The rest are fine, but Ralph Macchio is super cheesy.
I'm waiting to see if they're going to bring back any of the other Karate Kids.
Well, Miyagi's dead, right? So
he passed. I actually, my wife forced me to watch the next Karate Kid for the first time in my life, like the one with Hilary Swank.
Yeah,
I had never seen that movie before in my life, like never.
But they brought up. I mean, they brought everybody back from the. I mean, but I guess it's all been from the original Karate Kids, universe. They haven't brought anybody else from the other ones. But
it seems like since that was in the same like universe or like timeline and shit, like it'll be interesting if Hilary Swank ever does make like some kind of pop-up cameo kind of appearance. But yeah, that's one of those shows where it's just like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's all nostalgia. That's all
like,
it is.
If you're gonna do fucking reboots nowadays and stuff, like this should be the model moving forward. Of like, you don't need everybody because what they have like essentially 2 actors from the original movies, right? And then like you have Kreese, like that actor back, and like a couple random like cameos. What like Elizabeth Shue did 2 episodes, right? Like it's one of those things. Just like,
I mean, how many Rocky movies are they gonna make?
I actually
the Creed is part of the Rocky.
He was older. What is it, Rocky Balboa? Like that shit was it was entertaining.
Yeah. That was 6, right? And then they did Creed 1 and 2, which is really Rocky 7 and 8. But
yeah,
I thought the Creed movies were good. I had no problem.
Yeah,
with
they were.
No, I mean, even Balboa was okay. I mean, they're all the same, but it works. It's like a formula that works. Like every movie is exactly the same, but we keep watching them. I keep watching them when they come out.
I take AB there, by the way. In the little question.
Yeah. Well, PPR, I take AB. Standard, I take Red.
Yeah.
I think they pass more. I mean, that's what they've done all year. I mean, they haven't shied away from just chucking it on you, whether they're up by a lot or not.
Yeah, it feels gross for me to have Rojo ranked as highly as I feel like I do and a lot of people do, but and for your question, Grind Aside, I just looked it up, and AB expected to play practice Saturday, barring a setback, expected to go.
You gotta play him. Brady's gonna feed him.
Dude,
he's like trying to prove a point that he was right. He's just gonna feed him.
Dude, they're throwing 66% of the time too. Like that is insane
crazy
to me.
They're like they're very much like the Bills.
And if we want to talk about some narrative stuff, AB has a couple incentive targets to hit over the final 2 games. If he gets 11 more catches, that's 333K. 281 more yards is another 333K, and 3 more touchdowns is another 333K. So he has potentially $1 million on the line over the next 2 games if he can combine for 11 for 281 and 3 over the next 2 games.
I don't think 280 is happening, but 3 might. I don't think 280 is happening.
Are there like aggregators or like does Spot Track or anything like have those incentives like listed for players? Like, can you like look all of that stuff up and sort it by position or whatnot, or is that just kind of like you got to kind of look it up and research?
I would assume. I mean, I don't think they would have. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think they have that anywhere. I think that's stuff we just get from
just random beat writers.
Curtis Patrick tweeted that out.
Gotcha.
I just went to look up AB on Twitter, and that was the second thing that popped up.
And there might be, but I would assume that's all contract stuff. So I don't know. I mean,
Those are nice. Those are nice little like things. I mean, like because you know a lot of those players, and they all know, and like the coaches know.
MVS or Amon-Ra St. Brown. This one's going to be ASB for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
For sure. I don't like playing people off COVID. I get it, but sometimes they're winded and they get like half their normal.
yeah, but you know, again, it's kind of the same thing. We don't have that information, and so
No.
like I don't know. You know, like Tyreek, that was what was going on with Tyreek last week.
And we don't know if they're asymptomatic, right? Like they could be fine when they come off COVID, like if they didn't really get it. But then you have what Tyreek happened, where you got like 2 catches for nothing. You know, it's scary to play people off the COVID.
It is, but like you're in the championship, and so there is no next week. There's no I'll sit them this week, whatever. It's not going to hurt you. Like this, you're probably playing for the ship, so you have to play a lot of the guys that got you there. Now there's other players that doesn't apply to. That's why I can't stand when people say start your studs. That's just not really that's not a thing. I mean, if that was the case, then guys like Saquon would be blindly playing.
The question is who's still a stud, because Saquon's hard to call a stud, but yeah, but yeah.
But I am so ready tomorrow for Saquon to go for like 140.
I know. Doesn't it feel like Saquon's going to go off for like 200 yards because everyone doubted him? I'm sitting him in 2 leagues, and
I really hope.
He just has the narrative like he's going to go off, but like everyone's sitting him. No, I haven't seen a single person suggest Saquon unless like, the other option is like so horrible. But really, I mean, he's going to get 15 touches, and like 4 of them are going to be catches. Yeah, like.
Could you imagine if Saquon was on the Chiefs?
Could you imagine if Saquon was on any functioning offense? Like, the efficiency metrics are all there for Saquon that are no different.
He hasn't been that bad.
That's not the problem. It's that this offense is so bad. But that's going to be the narrative for him next year. It's going to be he's toast, he's washed, he's injury prone. Even though honestly he didn't really get hurt this year. He had the one injury where he was backpedaling, he was stepping backwards, and somebody ran into him, and he stepped awkwardly and he twisted his ankle. Other than that, he has been healthy all year. So it has not been an injury thing whatsoever for him. It's just the Giants have been an absolute dumpster fire. Right. And there's been a lot of reports about them possibly trading Saquon because he's on the 5th-year option, and they can save like $8 million against the cap by moving him. I would absolutely love if they would trade a 1-year deal. You can see a lot of teams lining up to try to trade for him. Because then afterwards, really what you could do if you were smart is if you're one of these competing teams, you trade for him this year, then you franchise him for 1 year, and then you let him walk. By that point, he's 26, 27 years old. You're not committing a long-term deal to him. And I think that's the way to go. And if he's on the Giants next year, unless they make like wholehearted changes, I mean, top to bottom, like Dave Gettleman gets fired, and then they move on from Joe Judge and all this other stuff. And they bring in like a Russ, then maybe you have a little bit different opinion on Saquon. But if things are looking a lot of the similar, that he's going to be like a 4th or 5th round pick next year because people aren't going to mess them. I think he goes to I can see like Kansas City trading for him. I can see a lot of other teams that could use a running back. Well, he's not going to cost a lot. He's going to be pretty cheap, and so. The one thing I will say, and the one thing that always bothers me the most, when it comes to like fantasy football, is people spend so much worry so much, especially like in the fantasy draft process. They care too much about necessarily what happened last year and not try to project for this the upcoming year, and it really bites people in the ass. The guys that really finish strong end up getting projected too high if people are too high on somebody because how somebody finished versus what's going to happen in the years coming. And so that's what my issue always is with a lot of these guys. But with Saquon, I get it. Everybody's going to be off Saquon. Everybody, fuck Saquon. I am never playing him. I'm never drafting him. The worst thing I ever hear, though, is when people say, I am never drafting player A again. It is not the smart. It is the worst take ever because it's a year-to-year game, right? And variance happens, things happen, injuries happen, everything, all this stuff happens. The stuff that when people say people are injury-prone, is mostly ridiculous for the most part. We said it for years about Dalvin Cook. Now nobody brings it up about Dalvin Cook. It's just one of those things. Keenan Allen was the same way every year. Oh, I ain't drafting that guy. He's injury prone, and it was just.
I mean, Cook missed 4 games this 16 or 17.
So, where do you think Christian McCaffrey gets drafted in drafts next year?
He's going to be a first round pick, but I think that he's probably like a second, or maybe he's probably in the second, third, or fourth, probably overall. I would think.
So
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be the number one. He is going to be the number one running back off the board because he finished the number one running back this year. Everybody's going to draft him as the number one running back next year, and that's fine. I think he's fine. And the offense that he's in with the offensive line that they have, Carson Wentz will be back. Most of this offense will be intact. I could see them adding another weapon. They are a team with a ton of cap. Maybe they bring in like a Chris Godwin or something like that because they have a ton of money to spend.
Where do you think Cooper Kupp slides in there?
Back end first round.
He's another guy that's going to be overdrafted because what he did this year.
Yeah,
but I don't want him in the first round. But
I mean, does he have a conversation for wide receiver 1?
Yeah, wide receiver 1, like the number 1 wide receiver off the board.
Yeah,
I think it depends.
I don't think so.
I don't
think he should be. I think it's a mistake.
You think it's still Adams or Hill?
I think there's a conversation, but it's not going to happen.
Where is Adams going to play next year?
Yeah, it depends where Adam lands.
He's going to play. I'm almost confident he's staying in Green Bay. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Without Rodgers? Because Rodgers.
I think Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. I don't think he's changing there. Yes.
You don't think he's going to take the payday?
He's getting paid now. What do you mean you take the payday? It's not like he's losing money by staying in Green Bay. So, and it sounds like the more he talks, the more he sounds like a guy who's staying. That he's really enjoyed this year. He's enjoyed the front office. The front office seems to be doing the things that he wants them to do. I don't see any way that I think they're both back, and I think this offense stays intact.
Real quick on this one, who we sitting between Eckler, Zeke, and Rojo for D-Ski?
Rojo.
Yeah, I'm not sitting Eckler.
I would sit Zeke.
I would sit Zeke, but I get that people. It's touches versus TDs because Zeke is going to get the red zone touches. He gets all the quality.
In a standard. Does that change anything for you guys between Eckler and Rojo?
I mean, Zeke. It
makes Zeke a little higher, but
yeah, he's a play for me.
Brady.
Hurts or Brady?
Yeah,
Brady.
It's like the 7th time we've had that question. It's Brady. I mean, I'm not saying Brady, but
with how much they pass the ball, I mean, yeah, it's
touchdowns are
1 probably, but I'll take 1. I'll take 1 in yards.
I'll set a minimum of 1.
Or the most random of.
Kev, where do you think Javonte Williams can be drafted next season?
I think he's Mixon this year. Like wherever Mixon went, like he's the Mixon of next year.
No way.
So
he's a first round pick next year.
Well, if he has the backfield by himself, yes.
I think early second.
But the hype train for him next year or this offseason is going to be a joke. Like you're going to hear all from the dynasty community and whatnot, through the months of March through June. It's going to be
I think it's
pumped out content for Javonte Williams. It's going to be,
and I will be producing a lot of it. So
right now, sleeper.
He's the best. He is the best running back from the rookie running back class this past year.
But I think that the way we're going to be talking about Javonte Williams this offseason is the way we were talking about Najee Harris coming into this season.
You think?
I could see it.
It really depends who they have there with them, but yeah, right now his current people who are already drafted for next year, they have him at 10.8. Is where they have
it for next year already.
The stupid one, the people that are just doing it for fun, and like
mock drafts.
I don't know if they're mock. I would hope, but yeah,
I can't. I mean, I hope nobody's.
But they have the set. They have the set next year's draft position in underdog, and they have him at 10.8 or something, which seems high to me. But I think he's second round. like Mixon was. But he could be first, sure.
So real quick, Justin,
If no one else is there.
The odds for Brady for his touchdown passes at under 2.5 is at -205. So looking at around 2 touchdowns there for him. And then Antonio Brown has the lowest odds to score a touchdown at -120. And then Evans Evans has the lowest odds at -125, AB at -120, and then Rojo's at -110.
How much? Where's Gronk?
+150.
I like that. I like that for Gronk.
I think if Evans plays, he gets a touchdown. I think that's why he would be there if he plays, to be that big body red zone.
Herbert or Hurts for TX?
So go Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Kushal, Dylan, Van Jeff, Carter, or J Pats?
Michael Carter.
Carter.
Carter. Yeah.
I'm going Dylan there. Yeah. Lockett, ASB, Osborne, McLaurin, pick 2 for Raider Godzilla.
First
I don't
two.
want the list.
First 2, Lockett and second down.
First 2 as well. Jaden Batts, Sony, Rojo, Singletary, T. Higgins. We need to sit one.
Singletary.
I'm sitting Ronald Jones.
Come on. Well, they're close.
I'm going to sit T.
Really? Wait, what is it? Is it like PPR standard half?
You're sitting Higgins.
Yeah, I would sit Singleton. You would sit Jones over Singleton?
I'm sitting Singletary.
Yeah, I'm sitting Singleton.
Herbert or Burrow for Reynaldo?
Joe Burrow.
This is going to be Herbert for me.
Whichever.
I mean, they're both really close.
I mean, that way. Whatever.
Happy New Year to you as well, D-Ski. Kev, where are you at on Herbert or Burrow?
I'm going to go Herbert.
Hurts or Dak?
Dak.
Boobity, Bobbity. Mooney, J-Pat, D. Smith, or Boyd for Andy. Pick 2 in a PPR.
Mooney and Boyd.
Singletary's
Mooney and Boyd.
I don't know. I feel like you could throw any of those 2 in there and be fine. Like, they're all like.
I'm going to go Mooney. I'm going Mooney and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Mooney and Boyd.
I don't mind Boyd, but I would go Devonta Smith.
I have a little bit of trepidation too on Patterson this week. Like,
I don't think he's going to catch this, but
I do wonder. Like, are we sure that he's going to get like even a simple majority of the work in the backfield?
No, I don't. I mean, because of what Jonathan Williams, I guess, is there.
He just scares the shit out of me. Like, he's one of those guys that I really think like a lot of people are just almost like automatically plugging in, thinking like, you know, no Gibson. Like I'm playing him in one of my matchups because I have to. So like, you know, I'm right there with people, but he is probably one of the scariest people right now of like replacement players coming in.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few that I would rather like. I think I prefer Dare over him.
Yes,
they're the same to me, Dare and J-Pat. I don't want to play either.
And
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah,
and the Devin Singletary slander will not be tolerated in these parts. I love Devin Singletary this week. He's produced against 3 really good run defenses, or really good defenses against New England, Tampa Bay, and Carolina over the last 3 weeks. He's played 82% of the snaps, 13.5 carries per game, 87.6 total yards per game, 4.5 targets per game, and he's averaged 4 receptions per game, 16.7 fantasy points per game over the last 3 weeks. And again against 3 pretty solid teams that he's faced, and he has produced every single one of them. He is the lead back there right now, and this is a smash matchup against Atlanta, and so Devin Singletary is a great play.
Who would you sit then of the last one? Regia? Who you said? I forget who they were.
So,
Regia? Who you said?
Yeah, that's why I said I would sit Rojo.
And this one for Koopa, Deontay Swift, Monty, AJ Brown. We're not considering Harris amongst these names. Who do we got?
I'm sit Harris. I'm assuming that's Deontay Harris.
We have to play one of these.
Oh,
yeah, Monty.
I'm playing Monty.
Monty, yeah.
It's close between Monty and AJ Brown, but whatever, Monty.
I'm gonna go AJ Brown.
Yeah, it's very close.
I like
Why do you have
Monty
to sit?
there.
Why can't
I like
what does
Monty.
the rest of your team look like? That is a lot of really good players.
Yeah, that's your flex. That's good options. I'm starting all those people on teams. But
St. Brown, Lockett, Chase Edmonds, full PPR, and a 10-man for Travis.
I'll probably play Lockett, but if Connor sits, Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds.
I'm not playing him if Connor does. I'll play.
If Connor sits, I'm going Chase Edmonds. If Connor plays, I'm going St. Brown.
You can go Lockett.
Yeah.
I mean Edmonds in that situation, but if not, if Connor plays, then I'm gonna go Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot for the upside, and that's Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I know that's your flex, but I was curious what the rest of your team looks like because these are a lot of like Deontay Swift, Monty, AJ Brown. I mean, those are all great plays. So I was curious what the rest of your team looked like because I mean that's a lot of really good players you're looking to sit.
How do people get these teams? I have like
it's trades. I mean, 10-team league stuff like that. I mean, and honestly, with wide receivers, it's easy to look at this team and say that, but in reality, I mean, Monty was what, a 4th or 5th round pick. Swift was a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah, I got Swift in like the 5th in a couple leagues.
AJ Brown. Was like a late second, early 3rd.
Debo.
Deontay was like a 4th or a 5th. I mean, a lot of these guys were not high draft picks. It's easy to look at this now and say that, but but yeah, I mean, a lot of these picks, the guys were widely available for a lot of people.
Yeah, if you were drafting too, when the narrative in the preseason and offseason where Deontay Johnson can't catch a fucking thing.
Yeah,
and
like
Chase.
Everybody saying drop. It was like him and Jamar Chase. It was like that was all anybody give a shit about. It's like, dude, just no. Like every receiver drops passes.
I got Chase in the 9th and 10th round this year in my 2 leagues.
So here's a good question before we wrap this up because it's like almost 1. That means it's almost 2 in the morning where the East Coasters are at. I have a question for you guys. What is before we wrap this thing up? Actually, let me ask this. I have Lance, Kittle, Debo. Should I play all 3 for the chip? It really depends on what your other options are, Joey. Because I have, without seeing everything, I don't know who you should play him over or what options you have. That's a little bit risky against Houston. It could definitely work out. We've seen Houston be able to push pretty much every team they played this year, so I don't hate it. But I do think that I think you could, but I don't love it either. My flex is hurting. Who do I start? Scott with Howard playing. Howard, Dare, Ayuk, or Burkhead. I would go Dare.
Howard probably, but Dare 2nd. Scott 3rd. I'm not playing Burkhead, but you like him.
I'd take Dare there out of that bunch.
You got Jordan Howard for me.
Yeah, it's Dare for me. I mean, he's playing 80-some% of the snaps, seeing all the carries, all the touches. That's not the case for all these other guys. I think there's so many other question marks for a lot of these guys you have. So, with that being said, I do want to ask you guys, what's one thing you guys learned this year? Like, what's one lesson learned for 2021 that you will take for next year?
For fantasy football or?
No, in your life.
Oh.
Yes, well, fantasy football.
It's Good question.
I think it's just, I mean, like I've generally tried to have this philosophy, but like zig when other people are zagging. You know, it's like all off season, all you hear is certain narratives, right? Like it's fucking 0 RB season or this or that, and it's like, you know, like there's opportunity to take advantage of people all buying into the same rhetoric bullshit. Like, you know, there's only so much that you can do with that too. It's like, I mean, I was in the Scott Fish Bowl this year, and I went 0 RB to an extreme, and guys like Leonard Fournette were sitting out there in the fucking like 10th round. And obviously, that kind of draft is different. Like the scoring format obviously is unique, but it's like
That's great.
all offseason we heard Leonard Fournette isn't going to be a thing, or it's Rojo this or that. It's like grizzled veterans, like dude, they're still good, man. Like don't just write off people because some younger player is, you know, getting hype. I mean, like you could have patched together Melvin Gordon this season on certain weeks, and he could have helped you win a couple weeks this season. Like, yeah, it's just other people. Like, if you're hearing everybody saying something, like there's a reason why like a lot of successful bettors in Vegas fade the public. You know, like the public is wrong more often than they're right. Like, so I'm telling myself going into next year, like I'm bookmarking, jotting down what everybody's saying, and you know I'm not gonna fade everybody, but it's like, you know, if everybody's buying into the same bullshit, like
I think that's where understanding the relief matters, because I think that for a lot is that like for the last couple of years we've heard that it was really loud this year of people talking about like 0 RB and like, oh, it's people who want to do 0 RB are dumb. It's the worst strategy. You can't do 0 RB. You can't do it. It's dead. Don't do it. And that's whenever you do it, because everything. So what happened was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a few years before that, 0 RB kind of rose, right? And everybody started wanting to do it, right? Well, everybody started doing it, or the majority started doing it. And you started to see it all over the place. Well, now it's kind of dead, right? Because the whole point of 0 RB was taking advantage of the positional scarcity or getting rid of the chaos that happens at running back position, right? And you had your pick of all these great wide receivers. Well, if everybody else is doing it, and you started to see like 3, 4, 5 wide receivers going in the first round, well, now you're taking away that value that you were getting from it. So now it didn't make sense to do it anymore, right? Well, now the pendulum swung all the way back, where you're only seeing 1 or 2 wide receivers go in the first round. We were seeing great wide receivers this year going 4th, 5th round, right? And it opened up this chasm of wide receiver value, right? And so where this year, I mean, we saw so many injuries at the running back position in just the first round. And I mean, this was perfect year for 0 RB. James Conner was a fantastic 0 RB option. Leonard Fournette, like there was running back after running back. Elijah Mitchell, which he was somebody that people didn't really draft, but like guys like that, right? Like where this was a perfect year to do it. My point isn't that, oh, next year's a great 0 RB year. It's really like you were saying, like embracing that, like the herd mentality is real. Like if anybody here that is on like Twitter and you see something that like Matt Harmon or Evan Silva or like JJ, like the really, really huge guys with huge followings say something, you will all of a sudden within a week, you will see a barrage of articles, podcasts about that said player that they just hyped, right? And that's what happens is it's the herd mentality. And it's the one thing that people need to fade because you know what? Those guys are wrong too. And so, but you see these players fly up in ADP all of a sudden, like somebody like Evan Silva, who has like 300,000 or 200,000, followers on Twitter. And, a lot of people, which I love. Evan is the man. Like I absolutely love it, but he gets stuff wrong too. But what we end up seeing is this herd mentality where these guys that are being overdrafted, that shouldn't be drafted as high as they are, right? Like James Conner was such an easy play this year. We saw what they did with Kenyon Drake and what Kenyon Drake was able to do. And Kenyon Drake was a 2nd round pick. Right? It was a 2nd round pick the year before. They bring in James Conner to play the same role, and James Conner went in the 9th or 10th round. It made no sense. The gap was way too wide of what it should have been, right? I know people were high about Chase Edmonds, and I like Chase Edmonds, but that's just the way it kind of works, right? And it's taking advantage of those situations, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, also people have to realize rookies aren't gonna like super perform in their first year. Like the best you're gonna get is Chase, and he still hit the wall. Najee hit the wall.
But those guys were fantastic. And those guys were
right. There
was nothing wrong with.
Pitts was fantastic too. I mean, it all matters on expectation, but like.
I would say it's more important to me
guy.
that people know who these guys are heading into. I know people don't have all the time in the world to follow this stuff and watch videos and really do intense research on who these rookies are. But I think more people need to do a little bit more research or pay a little bit more pay a little bit more attention to who these guys are, right? So whenever the season comes, and because Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't drafted anywhere. I know Cody was, if you listen to the show and followed us, Cody was all about Amon-Ra St. Brown all offseason.
And Dynasty.
Anytime we had in regional. Yes, anytime we had a sleeper show, we talked about sleepers. Cody mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pick up Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you would have kept a hold of him for the first 7 or 8 whatever weeks, and he had a couple decent weeks, but for the most part he didn't hit. But
we were on Eli Mitchell too. But it's funny with Eli Mitchell, I thought he was going to be more of the pass catching back, and he ended up not being that at all, but still ended up being.
But it's understanding who these guys were, right? So Elijah Mitchell, understanding that he was super explosive, athletic coming out. Obviously, he didn't have the draft capital, but understanding who these guys were, what kind of role they're going to play, what kind of player they are. I don't think the most casual redraft guy pays attention enough to who these rookies are, right? And understand who they are and stuff like that. That would be my thing.
But then you get Rager and Terrace Marshall and shit, where they don't do
Terrace Marshall. So things are going to happen. That is what it is. I mean.
Terrace Marshall is one of those guys that he's a prime example of when all the hype community gets it wrong, but it's not necessarily getting it wrong.
But if you drafted him in the 14th round, it doesn't matter.
There were a lot of
cost incurred definitely matters, and Terrace Marshall is a guy next season. Nobody's going to fucking think about Terrace Marshall in redraft.
But he's going to be a great
all over Terrace Marshall again in redraft because it's one of those scoop him up on the cheap, and if he doesn't perform in the first couple of weeks, drop his ass, pick someone else up.
I like to draft old people and then pick up the young people when people drop them because everyone drops the young people in the first 3 weeks.
There were a lot of rookies that were being so hyped up.
Yeah,
just turned out to do terrible.
Trey Sermon.
Speaking of
Rondell Moore,
the question here from TX, we do a lot of dynasty content in the off season. We will start talking about early sleepers and early values. We're going to do some best ball drafts as well. Should have hopefully this year we will do the draft guide. Like I said, a lot of dynasty content, a lot of NFL draft content. That'll take us up until June-ish. And that's when we start doing a lot of the player profiles and we start getting into the way too early list and that sort of thing. So still going to be a ton of content coming in the offseason. Obviously, the DFS show keeps going all the way through the Super Bowl. And then hopefully next week we'll have props coming again. With Tom, his family's finally healthy. He was out of town this week, so we didn't do the prop show this week, but that'll take us up through the Super Bowl there as well.
So I do want to ask this. Where do you think Allen Robinson falls next season?
Oh, my God.
Depends on where he ends up.
Yeah. If he gets signed by Kansas City, he's gonna get moved up. If he signs to a team that in a great offense where there's immediate opportunity there, he's gonna fly up.
I can't imagine him going before the 6th round, no matter where he lands. But
absolutely
I will absolutely.
No matter where.
Listen, Allen Robinson's not dead. Allen Robinson's still a good football player. I just don't think Allen Robinson gave a shit this year. He packed it in. It was a business decision. If you actually watched him play football, he did not look like a guy who had any interest of being out there, that he was going to do whatever he could to not get hurt. There were plenty of opportunities for him. He just did not want to be there. He didn't want to be there. They franchised him. They should have tried to trade him. They didn't.
I mean, that's why you can't franchise tag people. They get so pissed off about it. Remember, Des Bryant,
because if something happens and they suffer career-ending injury, they're done. They don't have any other option. That's why they don't want to play on a franchise tag.
They don't appreciate that at all. Yeah. But
Gage or McLaurin for EP?
I still go McLaurin, but
I go McLaurin there.
But I mean,
I'm going Gage.
I can't go here.
I'm not gonna go that far. Still McLaurin.
How is it that far though?
I don't know. I mean,
Is it really that far? Other than the name,
Terry McLaurin has legitimately been straight ass. I mean,
Yeah.
he has done nothing like since like week 9 or 10, like legitimately nothing. But people continue to rank him as a top 30 guy every single week, thinking that he's all of a sudden going to be something. Russell Gage, outside of last week, has scored since week 12, 18.2, 22, 10.4, 23.1, and then 5.9 the last week against Detroit. That's it. That outside of that, he went on a streak of almost could count week 11 of double-digit fantasy points for 5 or almost 6 straight games.
Yeah, he had a good.
So to say that Russell Gage is anywhere in the conversation, and then Terry McLaurin again has done absolutely nothing. Really, you have to go back to week 11 was the last time on the season. He's only has 4 games. Excuse me, 4 games of 20+ points, right?
So wild.
And on top of that, he only has 5 games? 5 games of double digit. But since then, week 12, 9.1, 5.2, 0, 7.1, 7. Sure, we could continue to chase the name of Terry McLaurin and say that Terry McLaurin is going to all of a sudden break out, and he could. He's a fantastic player. But there's nothing evident there to say that he's going to be able to do that. The last time they played, he's only saw 4 targets.
Yeah,
2 receptions for 50
was
yards.
I'm going Gage. I'm going Gage there.
But
Yeah.
nah. Gage does have the 2 zeros that scare me, but it's been a while. We can let that go, I guess.
I mean, the matchup is definitely better for
Terry McLaurin just had a 0 2 weeks ago.
It's true. He did get hurt in the middle of the game, but yeah, he did have a 0 up until the 4 target. Yeah, yeah. Terry's had a horrible year. I mean, who could have guessed that?
Let's go. Cooper Kupp. I don't think I think that was the only wide receiver video that I did. I did a bunch of player profile videos, and I think Cooper Kupp was the only one that I made one on. And I said that I thought he was going to be a top 5 wide receiver this year. So
that's the problem with 0 RB. If you get like Ayuk, Woods, like if you got to pick the wide receivers correctly too. Like if you got A-Rob and Woods and Ayuk, you were screwed.
Yeah, by and large,
you weren't taking those guys in the first round. So I mean, that's kind of the opposite of how that would work.
Woods was going in most drafts, like best ball, even like redraft. Woods was going ahead of Kupp. I mean, they were both getting drafted essentially right next to each other. But
and I mean, Ayuk went ahead of Debo in every draft. I don't care whose draft it was. Every draft.
The Ayuk hype was insane this year.
Oh, I drafted Ayuk in 3 leagues.
Well, the Robert Woods being that far ahead of Kupp was a big mistake. Their numbers were identical the year prior, other than touchdowns.
And
Ayuk is the most volatile stat there is.
Ayuk was well while Debo was
everything else, yards, catches, receptions, targets, everything, they were exact. It was just the touchdown department.
Those are those situations too, like, in drafts, if you're splitting hairs on guys on the same offense like that, take the guy that's going later.
Yeah.
Like always take the guy going later.
Look at Higgins versus Chase. You probably should have taken Higgins, not Chase. But, in terms of, I got Chase in the 9th and 10th round.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
When he was going in the 5th, he wasn't that great of a value. But he was during that streak in the beginning, but then he faded into a wide receiver.
One of them that's funny though with the Kyle Pitts thing was everyone was talking about Kyle Pitts over the offseason.
That was hype.
And what was the number? What was the number? Was it that people said that he had to hit for him to it was like 900 receiving yards, right? Isn't that what it was?
Well, everyone assumed he would score a couple touchdowns.
I mean,
he hasn't scored at all.
He hasn't.
His yards are incredible for a rookie tight end. Like, incredible for a rookie tight end. Like, incredible.
Kyle Pitts, I mean.
All right, boys. Love you guys. I'm gonna bounce.
See ya, Cody.
I'll see
Good night.
all of you in 9 hours. See you guys. Happy New Year.
Peace
Later.
out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'll say Cal Pitts. I mean, he's gonna have 1,000 yards this year.
He was overdrafted. He was
But
drafted.
I don't think
People were drafting Pitts at his absolute ceiling.
Yeah,
In
basically. Right.
those situations, like, I mean, you know, it's kind of the value-based drafting strategy where it's like, okay, you know, you're taking Pitts as what, the tight end 3 or tight end 4 or whatever, but like, you know, at the end of the day, like, tight end position is just
But
trash.
you could have got Goddard in the 9th. And
I mean, like, one of the biggest, like, I didn't need to look it up, but like my DraftKings best ball exposure to Dalton Schultz this year was ridiculous. I had him on
Well, that
like
worked out.
70% of my teams because like it's just one of those situations where like I punted tight end. Like if I didn't take Travis Kelce in the first round, fuck tight end. Like I don't play that position at all. Like I'm taking
Or
a
if you
sure
can't get,
thing
like-
or I'm not taking anything.
yeah, like one of the secondary ones in the 5th round or something. Yeah.
Yep. Like
Well, I've seen a lot of. There's been a lot of victory lapping I've seen on Kyle Pitts, which doesn't make any sense because it was Jeremy Shockey. That's what everybody was talking about.
Shockey?
Saying, you know,
Like, you have to
is he
do
going to be
Shockey's
able to
numbers.
put up? That he had 74 receptions for 894 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's what everyone was like. Oh, there's no way he'll be able to hit that. There's no way he'll be able to hit that. He has 64 receptions for 949 yards and a receiving touchdown, still with 2 games left. So he is going to smash
what do you
that
want from a
very
rookie?
easily going to. And then the actual number 1 is Mike Ditka, who had 1,076 receiving yards and 56 touchdowns, and he is very likely going to surpass that as well. Obviously, these guys played a little bit more games, but even still, even if you want to call it, because this is obviously week 17, you know, and for that, regardless, he still had more receiving yards than Jeremy Shockey, and he had just as many receptions.
Yeah.
He had 1 less touchdown. Everything else was the same.
I mean, he was just drafted too high. He didn't do anything wrong. He was great. And how about Freiermuth getting no love because Pitts was there? If Pitts wasn't there, Freiermuth is like Goddard, you know, like in our perception. But because he was there, everyone's like, fuck Freiermuth. But
yeah, but I do.
I mean, it was just as good.
But I do agree that Pitts was drafted at his ceiling,
Yeah, absolute ceiling.
and like he was drafted ahead of Mark Andrews.
That's,
Yes.
Mark Andrews is the tight end 1 right now.
And I'll admit, Waller was not great. Like, you know, he got drafted.
Well, Waller got hurt.
Even
Waller
Andrews,
was hurt.
right?
But
Yeah,
even when Waller was healthy, he wasn't really good.
right past like
Who
the first
do
2
you think is
games.
going to be the number 1 tight end next year?
Who is?
Who do you think is going to be the number 1 tight end off the board next year?
I still
Kelsey
think it's
again.
Yeah, I
it's
think
gonna
it's
be Travis Kelce.
I think it's going to be Mark Andrews.
I would love to get Kelsey in like the back end of the 2nd round, though. Like if I can.
So I think one of the things with Mark Andrews and like in my biggest money redraft, I actually went with Kelce and Andrews. I did the double tight end kind of draft strategy this year.
You play him in the flex?
Yes, which kind of bit me in the ass a few weeks and kind of hurt me a little bit. But you know they were both putting up wide receiver 1 numbers.
Right.
But for me, for Andrews, is I do worry his production when J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards come back. Like, I think that he was one of those situations where, like, you know, people were kind of rushing towards, like, when Dobbins went down, like, people were starting to hype up Gus Edwards, and I was one of them. And then, like, people were kind of overlooking Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews. Like, it was one of those things, like, you know, they're a run-heavy team, but, like, you know, teams do adjust. Like you can't lose running backs of that quality and just say we're going to still run the ball 58% of the time. Like
running backs are not like the next man up, like everyone wants to pretend they are.
And
they
like,
are.
The whole running backs don't matter. Like, sure they don't, but like you still have to have a competent offense to be able to utilize those random no-name running backs.
You have to have a line to support third-tier running back. Like, like.
And so, like, I'm a little hesitant. Like, I'll probably be looking at Andrews next year, again, but like I'm definitely not going to take him where he's probably going to go. Like people are going to, he's going to get in that like higher elevation, like draft position again.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and it's like if Andrews is going to be the tight end 1 of the board next season, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I think
like,
it's going to be very close between Andrews, Kittle, Kelsey, and Waller. I think
Waller.
all 4 will go.
Because here's the thing, like
I think Kittle goes a little lower because of the injuries. I don't think people blame Waller for their injuries. I think they will blame Kittle. I think you can get Kittle in like the 4th.
Because here's the thing: if Lamar didn't get hurt and played every single game this season, Mark Andrews would not be the tight end 1 right now. Because the games that he had with Tyler Huntley and Josh Johnson at quarterback,
dude, he's gone off.
He
that's
went
true. He would be.
He went for
2,
30.
but
he went for 30 the 3 games Lamar was out. Andrews went for 30 fantasy points all 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If Lamar played those games, Andrews would not be the tight end 1 right now.
Well, I think there's a lot to say on what Girardi just said too. Is that I think what you get this offense back to where they want it to be, where you have legitimate running backs, like J.K. Dobbins, stuff like that. They're going to be much more run heavy. They're not going to be throwing the ball as much. That's been different this year for what we normally see. I mean, they're 11th in pass plays per game. That is
that's insane to me.
Stark difference from what they were like 29th or 30th last year.
Yep.
I mean, he saw 132 targets so far this year. He only had 88 last year.
They
they want to be a run. They want to be a run.
If someone had told you that the Ravens would be that high of a pass offense, like that they would throw them that much, where do you like? I mean, Marquise Brown and Andrews get like a full round bump, right? Like minimum in their ADP, like it's crazy.
I probably would have drafted Andrews in the 3rd. Where did he go?
But the Ravens did play from behind pretty
4th
much
or
all
5th.
year.
I think so.
They played from the
They've
Ravens
just
played
been hammered with injuries. I mean, look at all
Oh
the
my
guys they've
God.
lost.
The running back thing.
In season they've lost. Marlon Humphrey, who
Marcus
was
Peters.
and then Marcus Peters in the preseason. I mean, how they lost Marcus Peters and J.K. Dobbins in this? Was it him? Was it Dobbins and
Dude,
him?
they
or
were
was
like
it him and
back-to-back
Edwards? I
days.
can't remember. But in the same
24
practice,
hours.
it was literally Marcus
Like a
Peters
week,
tore his
they lost
ACL.
3.
He leaves. The next play, it was either J.K. Dobbins or it wasn't Dobbins. No, it was Gus Edwards. That's right, because Dobbins got hurt in the game. Correct.
Yep.
In a game, the preseason games. Yes. So it was Marcus Peters gets hurt, tears his ACL. The very next play of practice, Gus Edwards tore his ACL. But that team has been so riddled with injuries. Like, I don't really blame that. It's not really on the team.
I mean,
you have that many
49ers
injuries
too,
in
man.
a season. The fact that they're even as competitive as they've been has been a testament to Harbaugh and the coaching that he's done, because they have missed a lot of players this year, and they're still in the hunt for a playoff spot. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it could, but depending on how things shake out. But it's been pretty, regardless of that, a pretty decent year for them. But no, I do think Mark Andrews is going to be overdrafted this year because of how he finished and how he played, and I think that's going to be a mistake.
I think we might see Andrews at a 1st, early 2nd, and I'm going to be out.
He's probably a 2nd or a 3rd, I think.
See, I'll take TJ all the way in the 7th round next year.
He's going to be interesting to see where he goes.
I can't imagine.
Well, it depends too. I think it depends too on their quarterback situation and what they decide to do there. But this is a really bad year. Like, this is a really bad draft year for quarterbacks. Like, there's not anybody that's just like smash. Like, okay, this guy's got to be a stud. At least of right now, things tend to change as we get combine. Thank God we get the NFL Combine this year. I hated not having the NFL Combine last year.
You mean like the new draft class? You mean?
Yeah,
the upcoming draft class. Bad for QBs. It's very bad for QBs.
Well, I mean, there's some players in there, but there's nobody like this past year was like a much different level, right? Like when like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, like there's not those level of players in this draft class.
You gotta admit, Mac Jones did good for what everyone thought he was gonna do.
I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to that, but there are some rookies next season that they're going to be.
Oh, they're at other positions for sure. I'm just saying a quarterback. I mean, you have Corral, you have Malik Willis, who, depending on the spot he could go to, but I think he's somebody that would have to sit for a little while. Like Sam Howell. Like, there's certainly some options there.
I mean, he got hurt today. Corral. Not Corral.
I mean, that's not
I don't know. I don't know how bad it is, but
and you didn't have. Sometimes the combine tells you not to draft someone where like they really fall off between the last game and the combine, and then you realize that those people aren't really dedicated. Like you can get that. People are just taking guesses this year.
All right, listen, we've been going now for almost 4 hours. All right, so let's wrap this up, get these questions, and let's get out of here because I have to turn around and be back on this same show in less than 8 hours, less than 8 hours now.
I'll be there.
Let's get this wrapped up. Plus, I probably have some lineups I need to build, before tomorrow, so I'm not rushing before the show. So, anyways, should I start Elijah Mitchell, Hunter Renfrow, or OBJ? I'm going Elijah Mitchell.
Yep.
You guys would really start Singletary over Javonte?
Yes.
I have that.
I would.
Really?
Do I start Pittman or Osborne in my flex? Pittman. I also have Bateman, Boston Scott, Callaway, and Jarrett Patterson. Yeah,
I'm starting Pittman over all of them.
You couldn't pay me to start Callaway. Seriously,
start 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Cup, we're just automatically locking that in. Waddle, it would be the second one. Running back is definitely Chubb.
So Cup, Waddle, Chubb, Rojo.
It's half PPR. So I would go Rojo as the other RB.
And then I would go Singletary in the flex.
I would go Singletary in the flex, but you guys might go T.
Yeah, they're better.
And then Jose, Mixon versus KC, Eckler, Rojo, pick 2. I'm sitting Rojo.
Mixon.
I'm taking the first 2 on that one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting Rojo.
Okay. Well,
there are fewer situations I sit Eckler.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody being here all night. We had pretty much 30, if not more, people in here in the chat all night. Love to see that. It is week 17. It is fantasy championship season. I hope everybody takes down their championships this week. If you have not already, hit that like, subscribe button. We have content's not ending. We're going to continue to do the DFS show all the way through the NFL playoffs. If you've never played NFL DFS, this is a good time to jump in and try to play some NFL DFS. But, we will also be doing the fantasy playoff, the actual NFL playoff fantasy challenge. We did it last year. It was a lot of fun. We'll be putting out some stuff on that. Good. Just go ahead, jump into our Discord. We'll drop a link in the description below for that. But like I said, we have so much content we're going to be doing, not just DFS, but we'll be doing a ton of NFL draft content, player profiles, rankings, all that stuff. Then we'll start gearing back up for the 2022 season. But I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate the support all season. We will be right back here again. Less than 8 hours from now.
But we won't be.
Questions.
Us three won't be, but you'll be back.
Well, I will be. So, you don't have to worry about that. Hopefully, you guys will be in the chat. I'll hit these last ones up, and then we're going to get out of here for sure. Damian, Sony, Rashad Penny for flex.
Sony.
Yeah, I agree. How do we feel about Justin Jefferson? I have Gabriel Davis, Gage. You're definitely starting.
Yeah, Jefferson
over all those guys. I get it. The Sean Payton thing is concerning. He's obviously not a good quarterback, but he is the only guy there besides Dalvin Cook. He is going to see a monster amount of targets. This could be a game where he sees 20 targets. And yes, they're not high-quality targets. They're not good targets. But they're still somebody that I'm not sitting Justin Jefferson in a championship game. I would ultimately regret it by playing one of these other options that you have. Neither one of these guys are a standout over Justin Jefferson. So, anyways, I appreciate everybody checking out the show. We will check you guys, like I said, 8 hours from now. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more news. We'll be a little more clarity. Let's win the championship this week. For all you that play DFS, let's take one of them down. And I will see you guys here shortly. Have a good morning, I guess, and I'll see you here shortly. Peace.
Peace out.